Okay, sorry. That's an issue on the back end. Let me see how it's doing. Okay, testing sound. Hello, testing sound. Hello, testing sound. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, really sorry, but I put up like 3 streams, and I have no idea what's going on my streaming software because I reset my computer right before this, while the stream was still cooking technically. So we're gonna go. 1 second. Let me do some background stuff here. Delete the other one so that nobody thinks that that's the one that's. It's so frustrating. It's so freaking frustrating. It's not really that bad, but it's just like one of those things. It's like so weird. Okay. So, yep, audio's good. I'll kick on the game at least while we're waiting for, yeah, there it goes. Okay. Looks like it's doing okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Well, we're doing some freaking Demon Souls. Who's excited? I know I am. You can't skip this. They don't let you skip this. I don't know. I probably should have done this beforehand. Whatever. Yeah, I can't find the Demon Soul servers. Don't know why. Can't imagine why I can't find the Demon Soul servers. If they're even still up, I highly doubt it. Okay, where are we going? Where are we and where are we going? Tower Latria. We're in the Tower Latria, that's right. Okay. And what's the deal? Wait a minute. Think. Whatever, it's fine. That's the Archstone. Where the hell am I? Also, what's that hissing noise? That's supposed to be in the level? Has that been here the whole time? That weird hissing noise? I feel like no. Is it the emulator, maybe? I don't know. Or is that just Tower Latria? Just a weird hissing noise. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if it's part of the soundtrack. I legitimately would not be surprised if it's part of the soundtrack, but it's very strange. I'm very confused as to why I'm hearing this strange, like, cricket noise in the back. Oh, shoot, I forgot again. Yeah, you can't jump over that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What am I even doing? Remind me what I'm doing again. I can't remember for the life of me. Not finding the merchant. Failing to find the merchant, to locate the merchant, is what's really going on here. So I think I'm on the other... Yeah, I'm just going in... I went in a big old circle. Because that's how this area works. It just makes you go in a big old circle if you forget about the stupid pit. So yeah, there you go. See, I knew there was something I needed to remember. I think I can keep going though. Yes, and his yelling mirrors the frustration experienced by the player. That's the beauty of it. One second, I need to do something. I need to turn on the chat on my streaming software. There we go. Okay. So his yelling mirrors the frustration of the player. That's what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to hate this place. And then when you hear him yelling, you're like, I understand now. That's what's going on. That's the deal. We want to find the merchant. We actually do want to find the merchant. The merchant, she's not that important, but she's important enough that we want to find her. Because she sells royal lotuses. So we're going to need a bunch of those. We're going to need... Well, I mean, it's hard to say how many we'll actually need. Depends on how bad I am at dealing with the gutter or whatever. Or, not the gutter. Swamp of Sorrow, I think it's called. There's a poison swamp in this game. As you can probably well imagine. And that particular poison swamp is very annoying. Because you can't roll through it. It's not like any other poison swamp you've ever encountered in any Souls game. You cannot roll in it. So, big, huge enemies with big, scary axes are big, scary. Unless you have like a big old shield too to match it. What's my stats against me? Okay, so I should have enough strength to be able to yield per. It's okay. It's fine. It is bad, but it's also okay. It's not like it's the worst of the worst or anything like that. Okay, so how do I get to the merchant again? Oh, okay, I'm going the wrong direction. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going and what I'm supposed to be doing. I may need to address that I'm not sure if that's part of the soundtrack or not. So, that weird hissing noise. It's like very slight. So hopefully no one's like hearing it, but... There's like a... Okay, there's the merchant. Once I kill this mind flayer. Yeah, see again, as usual, you gotta get the drop on enemies. This game is the game that's the most like DS2, by the way. So if you want to know where they got all the ideas for Dark Souls 2, this is it. This is the game. There she is. What up?
You're an ordinary human. Dear me, I've had better days.
This is like one of my favorite NPCs in the series. Okay, we need a bunch of these. And ideally we'll need some Widow's Lotus too later.
Now I can...
So those lotuses will cure poison on us, which is very crucial. Oh, I forgot about the stupid... Okay, whatever. Well, that's okay. We can go back to the Nexus real fast. That's okay. See if that hissing noise is just part of the dumb soundtrack. Okay, well, it stops when I in the loading screen. That hissing noise is just part of the soundtrack, isn't it? It's just part of the soundtrack, isn't it? That's just in the background of this area, isn't it? Or it's not part of the soundtrack, but you get the idea. Yeah, it's just part of the soundtrack. It's literally just part of the... It's literally just a noise that appears in this, I think. I could reset the emulator, I guess. But it's not in the Nexus. So they have some just like weird cricket hiss noise in the background of this whole area, I guess. For some insane reason. Or maybe it's an emulator bug. But I've never had an emulator bug. As far as I know. This is the first emulator bug ever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I've just never noticed it before. Or if it's an emulator bug. Or something. I guess I could reset the emulator and find out. It's just like a straight up option. It's just like so crazy that they would consciously put that in the game. I have to test it. I have to see if it's like an emulator bug. Yeah, and it's not in the loading screens or anything. Well, let's give this a shot. While the emulator is working, I'll set up I'll look it up. I'll Google it. Hissing noise in Tower of Latria. Tower of Latria, more like... Uh-huh. In Prison of Hope. It's called the Prison of Hope. Yeah, it's like so stupid. It's like, apparently, according to the AI, I guess, that's always... That's so weird. That is just so weird that they thought to just like... I don't know, maybe it's an emulator bug. I don't know. It could be an emulator... Like, that's how bad it is that I assume it must be like an emulator bug or something. Because what kind of game designers would be so dumb as to put this like weird hissing noise in the background of their level? Yeah, it just starts when I'm here. It's not in any other... So it's either a really weird emulator bug related to the Prison of Hope specifically, or the people who developed this game are insane. Which I guess is definitely possible. So, there you go. That's a weird... I mean, like, I had to check. I had to look online, but it doesn't say anything about it. I'm not sure if people just, like, don't notice it. I guess it could be an emulator bug. Yeah, I don't know. If that's an emulator bug, it's the first one I've encountered thus far in my time playing this game. So, and I've played this game a bunch. I've played this game for like almost 100 hours now. Or, well, it's like 75. So, you know, that's not really almost 100 hours, but whatever. You get the idea. There's the nice man. I'm the only murder hobo around here, gentlemen. Don't you think I'm gonna let you murder hobo without me? Oh. Okay. Very strange. I'm like shocked that they decided to put a hissing noise in the soundtrack. Like crickets or something. Like just put like a crickets chirp or something. I don't know. You know, just why generic hiss noise? This is why I think it's like an emulator bug. It's like the reason I think that it's an emulator bug. I'm like, it must be an emulator bug, right? Because this is just insane. Oh, I poisoned. So luckily we got those frickin' Royal Lotuses. What do you drop? Unknown Hero Soul. Love the music sting on these. Unknown Hero Soul. Ring of Magical Sharpness. That's actually really cool. We're not going to use that, obviously, but that is really cool. So, like, you're supposed to go to Tower of Latria first if you're, like, a spellcaster, right? Because, like, you get mana restoring items. Like, mana restoring items drop here, and you get, like, the Ring of Magical Sharpness and stuff. But the irony is, as a spellcaster, you actually still want to go to... I think you want to go to, like, 1... You still want to go to 2-1 first. It's, like, really dumb. That's part of the problem with this game's, like, overall design. Is like, it's like, oh, you're supposed to go to 3-1 first if you're a wizard. But that's actually not even really true, I think. I think as a mage, you still want to go to 2-1 first for some reason. Like, there's stuff you get out of 2-1 that, like, you get the Crisp Blade out of 2-1 and stuff. And that's, like, just as good as... Oh, yeah, there he is. I think that's not the guy who's yelling, help me. This is Sage Frake. So I guess it technically, actually... I think you do want to go here first. I don't know. But I think you can't... It's a chicken and egg problem where until you kill Armor... You can't... There's nothing to trade with him until you've already killed Armor Spider or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll cross that bridge when I play Intelligence. But for now, it's important to understand that... Or I shouldn't say it's important to understand, but... It may in fact be the case that you don't even want to come here first as a wizard. Which is like goofy. Like really goofy, right? Okay, so apparently these doors are locked somehow. Because to me, the hissing sounds like a sound effect. It does, in fact, sound like a sound effect to me. Well, I mean, like, what do I know? You know? Am I an expert on sound effects? What sound effects sound like? No. I guess I play video games, so... I should kind of have some familiarity there. Uh-oh. Hello, Mr. Mind Flayer. He's coming to flame my mind. Shooting lasers. That was slick. Oh, you played this on PS2? I do love this game, yeah. I feel like compared to Dark Souls, it's a lot more like puzzly. It feels a lot more like puzzly and like kind of like fun and like that. There's you know, that kind of stuff. It feels like an older kind of game. It's like a weird transitional title between Dark Souls and it's like sort of a weird transitional title between DS1 and... Oh, there he is. Okay. So you can grab it. So staff is actually pretty good, apparently, too. But I've never actually used it myself. Ah. This guy's raging. Can you believe it? Well, it's like it's really not hard, but it's like hard if you don't know where to go and what to do. If you don't know, if you're not like crazy on top of everything, it is really hard. But if you know like exactly how to like work the system, it's actually not that hard. Which is what's so weird about it. Which is what makes it so strange. It's like, I think maybe there was a time when, you know, because you think about like Xbox games and like PlayStation games and stuff, and like you kind of see them as being like too easy. You know what I mean? Like you're playing like, you know, Lament of Innocence on the PlayStation and it's like too easy. It's like a great game, but it's a really classy game, but it's also like so simple, right? Like there's no real thinking involved. Yeah, that's the thing about it, is it's like actually really weird. Like, I love a lot of old games and stuff like that, like Fable and stuff, but they're actually, like, too easy. They're like little baby games. And, like, Demon Souls is, like, almost is like a real game. You know, like, Demon Souls feels like an actual game. Like, an actual video game. Like, it's like Dark Souls. Like, Dark Souls is like a real video game. Like, a real, like, new generation of video game. Well, I love Skyrim, too. Skyrim is also really awesome. Skyrim has its own problems. Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that Skyrim is almost like those earlier... Skyrim is almost like Fable. You know what I mean? Like, if you're playing it on normal difficulty, it, like, doesn't even matter. It's like a huge joke. Or it's like too difficult. It's, like, weird. And this is, like, an entirely different kind of experience. It's, like, a very unique kind of experience. Where they're like, what if we could craft something that's, like, difficult, but, like, for everyone at the same time? Like, let's craft an experience that's, like, for, like, hardcore gamers... But then also something that, like, anyone can play. Or, like, anyone could want to play if they just, like, put in the effort. And that's, like, the beauty of it. And so I actually really love this game. It's just not as good as Dark Souls. That's the only problem. But, like, every item, like, most items have a use. And there's, like, yeah, there's a lot of really sweet stuff to this game. Well, that's what I think is awesome. And that's what people complain about, I hear. People are like, oh, these games are too hard. And it's like, these games are actually really easy. You just have to put in the effort. That's the crazy thing about it, right? Like, I'm sitting here playing this game, And it's like these games are like pretty easy actually, unless you're doing something really crazy in Dark Souls 2. Like Dark Souls 2 is another great example where, well, I think the DLCs are maybe a little too hard for in a lot of ways. But like unless you're doing something really crazy, DS2 is pretty reasonable. It doesn't really demand that much of you. It's like frustrating at best, right? And so like a lot of these games they are hard, but they're not like monstrously hard. It's not like you're expected to do some like crazy stuff or something or whatever, you know? Hold on, let's try this armor on. Let's see what this armor does for me. Fluted helmet. Does it look good? Yeah. Okay, I'm slow rolling, but that's okay. How much defense is it giving me? Probably something. So we need to drop that off. We need to go back to but yeah, there's something, and it's fun to like explore, look for treasure. And like I feel like when a game is like sufficiently hard, that's where we're looking for treasure actually kind of matters. You know? Like you need every little help you can get, and you're like afraid of what's next, and so you're gonna look around and like dig through like cabinets and crap like that, right? When you're playing some of these like earlier games that are too easy, and it's like unless you're just like bored, unless you're just like looking around for the novelty of it, there's like no reason to search anything ever. It feels like you're playing Fable, and it's like, oh, this is optional. Like I don't have to smash these crates; it's optional, you know. And well, I guess I don't know. It's I don't know. I think more and more people have been like, okay, like this is how video games should be. Like they should present you with some challenges, but they should also be not like impossibly difficult, right? Like it's not playing The Binding of Isaac, or it's not playing like, you know, some of these other like, you know, Skyrim on Legendary, right? That's literally just like too difficult. Well, actually, I love Skyrim on Legendary, but that's what I'm saying is like to really appreciate Skyrim on Legendary, you have to be able to appreciate a game like Dark Souls. You know, like you'll never. Oh shoot! Uh-oh, I'm dead. That's okay. I need to drop this stuff off anyway. Like you truly will never be able to appreciate like Oblivion on max difficulty, right? Oblivion on max difficulty is really stupid. It's like really dumb. But you'll never be able to appreciate how well designed it really is unless you go through the trouble of playing like a game like Dark Souls. Unless you understand how games design difficulty and how difficulty works as a concept, you'll never fully appreciate like Legendary Skyrim. Like you have to be able to play Dark Souls to like give it its fair shake. I think. And so I really love Dark Souls as being like a way of like teaching people what difficulty really is, and that is that it's like a cultivated thing. It's like a thing that a designer like cultivates, and that's what makes Skyrim's difficulty so insane. Secret Dagger is really interesting, supposedly, but I'll look into that later. And that's what makes Skyrim's difficulty so great, and why people like should like Skyrim's difficulty is because it's actually really well cultivated. It's like something that Todd Howard like saw to, and he did a really good job on it.
You have a heart of gold.
Well, Oblivion is an example of a game that's like kind of badly designed in terms of difficulty, right? Like that was not cultivated. Right? Like, but if you play Skyrim on Legendary and you really know what you're doing in Skyrim on Legendary, you realize that Skyrim was designed around Legendary. That's the beauty of it. It's like Skyrim on Legendary is like, what do I do? How do I do anything? Right at first. But if you really know Skyrim, Skyrim on Legendary is insanely good. And it's like Todd Howard I literally feel like Todd Howard personally saw to Legendary Skyrim. And personally was like to his design team, like, hey, we need to make Legendary work. You need to be able to beat, yeah. Oblivion on max difficulty is a lot less fun. Yes, I think that's one of the things they learned from Oblivion. I think Morrowind is okay. I think Morrowind on max difficulty is fine. But you still have to do lots of cheesy stuff. You still have to have, like, you still have to have, like, armor. You still have to have, like, 500 agility. Or, boots of blinding speed. Or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's a great example of one where but I think back in those days they didn't really think about it like that. They didn't really cultivate Legendary. They're just like, let's just have this in the game. So if you break the game, you have something to do, I guess, was their thinking. And so, like, you really appreciate Skyrim's difficulty when you, like, begin to see video game difficulty as something that's, like, cultivated. Like, it's something that's, like, beautifully designed and crafted. Or not. That's so fun, though. Well, Veggie Stew shield bashing is dumb. Yeah, that's really dumb. I think Veggie Stew shield bashing is stupid. I mean, it's something you can do. I don't know about the vampire... I don't know what you mean when you say vampire healing glitches. And then also the dual cast staggering is fun. The thing about dual cast staggering is that's the only way magic works. Magic is bad without that. But like being able to stagger a dragon out of the sky with like shock spells is really cool, I think. But I also understand why someone wouldn't like that. But it is really funny to like watch a dragon, to like see a dragon flying in the distance and go zap, 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 and like watch him like stagger as he gets zapped. I think that is actually really cool. Because that's like the only way destruction works. Without that, destruction is like bad. Oh, yeah. But it's not... I don't think that's that crazy. I think that's more effort than you actually get out of it. Like, that is really cool, but it's more... Like, getting to that point is, like, harder than you actually get value out of it, I think. Is my understanding of the issue with that. So it's, like, really cruel. That's, like, really awesome in theory. But I think it's less awesome in practice. Plus, like, being Vampire Lord kind of sucks anyway. Yeah, that's one that's, like, actually kind of cool. That's one that's actually like, oh, okay, this is, like, actually really awesome to be able to do. It makes no sense, obviously. That's the problem with it, is it's, like, goofy. You're sitting there, you know, Fusro top, and then it's, like, some guy, like, apparently doesn't hear it. I don't know. But I guess it's an illusion thing. I don't know. Wait, these doors are locked. Yeah, better go. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's like, who's there? Oh, I guess it was nothing. It puts the dagger away. Yeah, that is really funny. But I mean, it goes to show that like even if some of the strategies are kind of lame in Skyrim, at least there's so many of them that there's some that we can be like, oh, those are lame, right? Like you're doing like you know, you're playing like I think melee is really fun. I think like sneak archery is really good. I think conjuration is really awesome. I personally like destruction. Yeah, a great game. Truly insanely great game. Like a shockingly good game, actually. Like legitimately a shockingly good game. It's the sort of game I want to play again. I'd love to stream it at some point. So I think Skyrim is coming down the... I was actually playing it not that long ago. Yeah, Alchemy too. Well, I think it's a little tedious. It's the sort of thing that's tedious enough I don't personally like it. But it definitely is powerful. You can definitely do lots of crazy stuff with it for sure. Which is like really awesome. But it's not that's not my personal favorite skill in the game. I find it to be a little cumbersome to actually use. But I mean, you know, that's everything. I mean, that's literally my opinion. Like anything that requires any amount of effort at all, I'm like, oh, that's so cumbersome. that's me for you, a little tiny bit. Okay, the pit's right there. Yeah. I was thinking of doing an alchemy only run, like a character where I only use alchemy. And thinking about how I would do that. The main problem is you can't apply poisons without swords. So you'd have like a dagger or a bow and arrow, like an iron bow and arrow to like apply poisons. And then like for any enemy but like how would you deal with enemies you can't poison? But what you can do is you can find a bunch of equipment with you can find a bunch of items with shout reduction on it. So there's like a couple items at the Creation Club, and then there's like the Amulet of Talos. Which can't be enchanted? What was I talking about that can't... What can't be enchanted? How am I forgetting what we were just talking about? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So what I would do is I do like a character that could do poisons. And then for every enemy that can't be poisoned, I'd stack shout reduction. Because what you can do is you can make a fortified restoration potion, right? And keep in mind, you're not even looping here. Like we're not doing the major exploit. You know the major exploit with alchemy and enchanting. Forget about that, right? But like you can do an exploit where you where what you do is you oh shoot. Oh, come on. Ugh. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway. So you can do a major exploit, right? Where you or no, this isn't even a major exploit, right? So you just make like a restoration potion that boosts restoration. You drink that, and then you equip a bunch of shout cooldown reducing items, right? Like your Amulet of Talos, and there's some that are in like the Creation Club and stuff. And then what you do is you shout like twice as much, right? So for like zombies and stuff, you just like sit there and you like chain fire breath them or whatever, you know? Or like maybe you sneak past them or something. I don't know. Because there's like that become ethereal shout and stuff like that, right? So you have some interesting options that you could definitely do. So I think you could do alchemy only. I think it is possible. I think the problem with alchemy only would be undead enemies, zombies, which are really common, obviously, right? Obviously, Draugr are like all over the place in Skyrim. So that would be the one issue. Yeah. So that's what you do is you'd go get that somehow. So you'd like poison the Grand Champion or whatever. You'd like make a really powerful poison to poison the opponent. And then you take his armor for that quest. I don't even know what that quest entails because I haven't done it. Because I played Skyrim like a really long time ago. But you grab that armor, and then you equip that along with an Amulet of Talos, and then like some other stuff. I think there's like a hat or something that does shout reduction too. There's like a crown or something. And then you stack all that together, and then like maybe you get like constant fire shouts. You can just sit there and like stun lock zombies with fire shouts or something. But it's a really huge shame that there isn't a poison that works on zombies. I think that would be really cool. I think that's like a major missed opportunity out of Skyrim is that there's no poison that works on zombies. Like, I don't know. I guess they don't want you to just use alchemy, but I don't know why. Like, to me, that just doesn't... I'm not sure exactly why they're afraid of alchemy only. Skyrim. Ow. Like, to me, it seems like if you're gonna work that hard at a skill, it should, like, do all the work for you. Like, that's basically how armor is, right? Or blacksmithing or whatever, right? Is, like, you put in, like, an insane amount of work, and then it just, like... does like a huge amount of the work for you, right? And that's like enchanting, same deal. It's like you can literally like do so much with enchanting, but you have to like grind it out. It's like a huge pain. You can actually beat the game with only enchanting, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those like missed opportunity things. I really feel like they should have done something with that. They should have made poisons better in Skyrim, or they should have had some like maybe you could get like holy water or like corrosive poisons or something to damage like constructs too. I don't know. Yeah, that's part of the problem is I guess they kind of expected people to just sit in the city all day and craft, which really isn't even viable for like a lot of the crafting skills, I think. So that's one area where I think Oblivion is better. Is I think Oblivion alchemy is better, like as a game from a game design perspective than Skyrim alchemy. I think Skyrim alchemy is like kind of frustrating to use actually. But I mean, you know, if there's a viable, oh yeah, here we go. Here's the fun like mini boss thing. Well, it's not really a mini boss. This thing's really cool, though. I actually really like this. It's like, how come this isn't in modern Souls games? What was I saying about alchemy? Oh yeah, so I think. Yeah, well that's the nice thing though. That is a really cool thing too. So you bring up a good point. No, but it's just a shame you can't like hit. I mean, I guess you could just like isn't there invisibility potions in Skyrim? I don't remember. I don't remember for the life of me if there are invisibility potions or not. But if there are, I think those are probably just better anyway, I guess. So, you know, you just use those. Oh, okay, yeah. So you just use those on a lot of those kinds of enemies, I guess. It's like Dwarven constructs are pretty, like, meh anyway. Oh, wrong button. Like, they don't really do much anyway, so... There's kind of no reason you can't just do that, I guess. Yeah, but I guess you need the vamp dust, which is going to be tough to get. Because that's a pretty tricky ingredient to find, right? Like I could be, I don't remember, but or no, you have to kill a vampire, and so like you need a way to get no, it's this way. You need a way to get you need a way to get the vampire dust. So you'd either have to kill a vampire, you'd have to, yeah. Well, you could reset shops, because I imagine it's probably in some merchant tables with enough luck. It's like fire salts. You know how fire salts are in every merchant's table? Like, even, like, yes, like, technically you have to go out and kill Flame Atronax, but in practice no one ever actually does that. There's just, like, in every table. And so you just, like, reset the merchant over and over again. And then you eventually get your hands on enough fire salts, right? And, so yeah, like, potentially there's a... I mean, I don't know, there's no other ingredients, though? It's just those two? Or is it like or is it other... Yeah, and you need Ice Wraith Teeth. That's also really tough, too. Although I think those are on a lot of merchant tables as well. So you're never going to have an issue with those. I mean... okay. Yeah, so maybe there's like a farming spot. You can go to some place and there's like some flour that'll get it really easy or something. Because that's how it works in Oblivion. So yeah, I'm sure alchemy has options, but it sure does sit wrong with me that there's no poison for... Oh. It legitimately does kind of sit wrong with me that there's no poison for... whatever he calls them. There's no poison for, undead and constructs. Because that's like well over half the game's enemies. You know what I mean? Like, that's like full-blown, like there's not, like, it's like you get like bandits and then like Thalmor or something. Right? Like, those are the only enemies you can actually poison successfully. Jonestone is that 5 second? No, it's 60 seconds. It's 60 seconds once per day. So there's lots of places where that's not good enough, actually. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. There we go. Whew. Or it's 60 seconds once per day, I think. Or it's not next to Singrad, it's next to... Is it next to Singrad? I can't remember. I can't remember where it is. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that is true. Yes. So you can definitely do that as well. And you can just sit there and spam invisibility and like level illusion really fast too. Where's the path? There's another path around this thing. Where is it? Because you can't roll through it, but there's another path. Where is it though? Where's the other path around this thing? Sorry, this is a Let's Play. This is a first time playthrough of Demon Souls. I've never played it before, apparently, because I can't remember where the path is. I cannot remember how to progress. Yeah. Where is it? Where is the path? I thought it was this way. Oh no, a Warden's Key. Duh, I have the Warden's Key. So I need to backtrack. I need to backtrack and find it. Yeah. There's a. Okay, I remember. So I go to the hallway. There's that one place. There's that one hall. There's those hallways I can't open. Because I just picked up the Warden Key. Now I remember. It's been a while. Oh, zombie. Oh, ow, that hurts. How dare you, Mr. Zombie. This is one of those dangerous spellcasting zombies. The freaking head crabs, man. The freaking spellcasting zombie. That stabs you with his claws or whatever. Wait a minute. Where am I? Ah. Tower Latria. Okay, wait. Where is it? No. Yes, this is it. There it is. It's not so bad once you really get used to it. That's probably what ended up happening in design. It's like people complain so much about Tower Latria, but if you're really, really used to it, it's not so bad. It's actually not that big. It's just like weirdly repetitive in terms of appearances. It just looks really repetitive. Ow! Get up, Sekiro. There we go. Yeah, it's actually a really it's a really well designed. I actually think it's very well designed. Believe it or not, people will disagree with me, and I think that's fair. I definitely think people can be like, "Oh yeah, this area is actually really badly designed," and I think that's not an unreasonable opinion. But the reason I think it's well designed is because it's actually very small. It seems very big, but it's actually very small. It seems like it's a really massive place that is actually, in fact, very tiny. There's a great example of illusion, right? Like game design is like, or like level design is being about like an illusion. So they create this illusion that you're in this big, huge level that's like really, really huge and massive, but in practice it's very small. There really aren't that many paths, and there's also not that many places you can go. But it seems like there's tons and tons of places to go. The only downside is there's a lot of impetus to backtrack. So it's part of how they kind of drag it out a little bit, is they're like, oh, well, actually, you're supposed to backtrack a ton. You know, because if you want to rescue Frake and the other guy, you need to find the key and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the pitfall, I think. As it relies very heavily on like backtracking to make it seem much more interesting than it is. But, I mean, you know, there's always a price for everything. You can't have it all. Kind of thing. There's no, like... I mean, I don't know. There's probably a way to do it. But then you have to have assets like, you have to have, like shortcuts. And you have to, like, somehow make that a thing. And have interconnected shortcuts and hallways and stuff. And that was part of the problem with Dark Souls 1 and why they didn't do it again is because... those shortcuts were actually a lot of pain to work around. You had to put the levels together in a way where they made sense conceptually relative to one another spatially, and that was like a huge pain, I guess. So it's like one of the key flaws in Dark Souls 1 was that the level design was like a huge pain to work through, I guess. I don't know, because they didn't do it twice. So I can only assume that's why. I can only assume that the reason they didn't do that twice was because it was a big old pain. Oh yeah, okay, we do need to go this way. I'm not mistaken. Because, like, from then on, it's just all Lord Vessel crap. Or no, we don't need to go this way. This is something else. Yeah, I'm going it's the wrong direction. We do need to go this way at some point, but not right now. And then I think we get the special key from him, too. From the guy. And so you have these, like... so, like, Blighttown leading directly up to... So I think maybe that's why Blighttown is so weird. So weirdly designed. And stuff like that is because it's designed around the considerations of, like, where Firelink is and where these other areas are. And so the fact that the world has to fit together like a jigsaw puzzle in a lot of cases, I think was something they didn't really like. Or something in any case, they didn't decide to do it again, right? So like Dark Souls 2 basically isn't interconnected at all in any way. It's not like there's a path from Iron Keep to, Dukes Freya, right? For whatever that would be worth. I mean, it'd be kind of interesting, right? But I think the level of work is like more than like I guess you might think. I don't know. Because to me, right, like I don't know anything about game design. I'm like, on the back end, like what it's like to actually design a game. And so to me, it's like, oh, that seems like it wouldn't be that much work, but maybe it's like a huge amount of work, right? Because like I guess maybe the one guy doesn't design every level. You have every level designed by their own like group of guys, or something like that, right? And then like the director's telling everybody who's designing these levels, like, hey, you got to make sure that the dimensions are exactly this, and then that way, there's an elevator that lines up between the areas. It's like who gets to decide where these elevators are and why they're there, right? And so it's like a huge mess probably in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's the sort of thing that seems like it wouldn't be a huge problem, but it actually totally is because... Okay, there's a red phantom. Yep, there she is. Hello? Ow. Oh. Oh, for which game? This game? Or just in general? There's this that really cool finger weapon in Elden Ring that looks really fun. Honestly, I really like halberds. So halberds are sort of not even really a strength weapon. That's kind of the problem with them. I really like halberds, though. I'm actually a really huge halberd guy. I think halberds are my favorite weapon type in any Souls game, but in a lot of cases, they're actually kind of bad. They're not, like, really, really, really bad, but they're not scaling. They don't scale very well, and stuff like that. So in this game, halberds are meta. So that's part of the reason I like this game, is because halberds are actually really, really meta in this game. They're not the best weapons in the game, but they're quite good. No, there's no sweet spots. That's part of the reason they're good. It's because I really like a halberd being good, because another weapon I really like is spears. That doesn't have anything to do with strength. Uh-oh. We still need to go kill the guy. We also need more arrows, too. So I actually need to reset this and go back to the tower, or go back to the bonfire. No, I hate the sweet spot. The sweet spot's really lame. I really like polearm weapons, but if they don't have the sweet spot, I guess they're not really balanced. Or it's like impossible to balance them or something. Which is, I guess, the idea. But I love halberds. But they're not really very good strength scaling weapons. But in this game, they're really great. The problem with this game is there's not that many weapons that are strength scaling. You have, like, clubs. You have, like, a mace. You have, like, the mace and the Morning Star. And then you have, like, the Murden Hammer and the halberd. Hold up. Let me triple check it. I'm going to need to know this anyway. So it's Greystone, because it's the Crushing Infusion. So we need DS Demon Souls. Okay. So Greystone, right? So you have the Bastard Sword, the Battle Axe, the Claymore, the Crescent Axe, the Great Axe, the Great Sword, the Guillotine Axe, the Halberd, the Iron Knuckles, the Night Sword, the Longsword. Oh, Longsword. Okay, there you go. The Mace, the Murden Hammer, the Morning Star, and the Short Sword, right? So there's a pretty clearly finite number of weapons you can even use with this thing. And a lot of them are kind of too heavy to be really awesome, I think. So, like, Crescent Axe is kind of heavy. Great Axe is kind of heavy. Great Sword is... Well, where is Great Sword? We need to find this. Okay, it's in the Inner Ward. Where's Inner Ward? Inner Ward is... Who's the boss of Inner Ward? Oh, Penetrator? Yeah, so we'll deal with that later. A lot of them are a little heavy for what you get, because you need armor, right? So you can't have a big, huge, heavy weapon without giving up armor. Dragonbone Smasher is really cool, but it's not very good. So that's like a really great example of a weapon you can use. At some point, we'll mess with the Greatsword, with Claymore. The main problem is that with a lot of these weapons is they get outclassed by the Murden Hammer. So you can either have a boss DPS weapon like the Mace, or you can have a Murden Hammer, and those are kind of your choices. And if you try to deviate from those choices, it's like not bad, but it doesn't really make any sense almost. And so that's kind of the crucial, I guess you wouldn't call it the crucial problem, but that sort of ends up being the issue. Now these swords are kind of interesting. The problem with the swords is they do slash damage. So, but I think longsword is actually really good too. I'm gonna find my longsword. I'm gonna when I go back to the merchant, I'll grab longsword and we'll mess around with that for a minute actually. But we're not gonna have to worry about that right now because we're gonna kill the boss. I probably should have talked to him. Special key. Yep, for Sage Frake and so on and so forth. Okay, let's actually, oh wait, no, not this one. No, we can't Nexio Binding. Oh no, oh shoot. All my Homeward Bones are in, what's his face's? Stockpile Thomas's box. He's got him in a chest somewhere. What was I saying? Yeah, so a lot of these weapons are kind of outclassed by the Murdenhammer, pretty clearly, right? I think definitely one of the more interesting ones is... Oh, this is funny. Oh, you wacky game developers. Come up with this one. Oh. Well, okay, that's actually really good that I grabbed that, actually. I think I survived this. Yes, I do. Okay. But yeah, for a lot of these weapons, I messed around with them a little bit before, and they don't really provide any value relative to Murdenhammer, is what ends up being the problem with a lot of them. But we'll relook at them. We'll re-examine them. I think Longsword is probably really good. In fact, actually, I probably should have used a Longsword, but the problem is I didn't start with a Longsword, right? So Broadsword is a sharp weapon. You can't heavy infuse Broadsword, right? But I think I have a Longsword, so I could use a Longsword if I wanted to. That's kind of the problem with this game, is that there's no real reason to use a Longsword because of the spear either, right? So because of spear, you kind of don't really need a Longsword. And then but I guess Longsword is more broadly applicable. Like, you could use Longsword for a lot of reasons, actually. But then you can't upgrade it with Sharpstone, right? So I needed to get my weapon. So this is the gridlock of this game, and what's so crazy about it, right? Is like I have a short spear plus 4. Okay, like yes, I could technically use a longsword here, but I need hardstone to upgrade it. I think you can't. I think you have to use. I think longswords require hardstone, right? And so I needed all my hardstone for my bow, because for some reason bows require hardstone, right? So it's like I could have used a longsword, but I really couldn't have, because what all the sharpstone would be sitting in my inventory doing nothing. You know what I mean? So the upgrade system kind of locks you out of using a hardstone weapon if you're using a bow. And like, you want to use a bow because the strength scaling is actually pretty okay. Not good, but it's fine, right? It's good enough. And bow is like really great for cheesing every enemy in the game. And so that's kind of the irony. Is like, yes, I could have used a longsword, but I really couldn't have. Like, that's actually not an option. Hold up. Where's What's-His-Face's cell? Let's free What's-His-Face. Let's free Stickman real quick here before I forget. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it kind of overshadows. The upgrade system is so weird and convoluted and kind of bad that it like overshadows your options, you know? Like, yeah, like longsword's fine, but it's not actually viable. Like, that's the problem. That's inherently the issue. Is like, on the surface, you'd be like, yeah, I would love to use a longsword, but I like actually legitimately kind of can't. Because if I try to use a longsword, like, I just like can't. Like, it's too much work. Hold up, does the special key work on this guy, or I think there's one more key I need? Yeah, I don't remember where this guy's key is. So I have the key for Frake, I think. What I have is the key for Frake. But I mean, luckily I don't need either of these NPCs. They are just like whatever. So we'll just move right on along. Talk to What's-His-Face. Where am I? Yeah, this is the problem. Or is Frake's this way? Is Frake's this way? Yeah, there you go. Hey, there you go. Oh, at least I rescued Frake for whatever that's worth. What up, homeboy?
Magnificent. My name is Frake. I thought my magic would give me an edge again. I have been, but I can still move my leg. I thank.
Huh. Gary
I
Stiletto.
have been, but I can.
What's that? Okay. And as it stands, I'm still gonna have to farm. Oh, okay, it's a magic weapon. Oh, okay. It's like a meme. This is like a total meme weapon. It probably has no actual value. Honestly. Because why would you ever use that over a Crisp Blade? Yeah. Help me! Ah! My muscles. His bulging muscles. Rippling, trying to rip the door off its hinges. See, what happened to voice actors really selling it? Really working it like that. What happened to that? What happened to roar? Help me. We need more of that. Please help me. That NPC is like really weird because he does nothing, as far as I understand. The NPC is like the most useless NPC, I think. Yeah, well, they do too much of the, you know, the whole like, I'm an orc. You know, like they do a lot of that, like I am orc, I am evil wizard man. You know, a lot of this like stuff, right? I mean, that's all cool and all, but just like give me a good delivery. You know, really like, just like sell me on the idea that you're just like a normal guy who's just like stuck in a box for no reason, and you're all like, help me. But that's really great. Although I don't even know what the deal with that NPC is. Okay, here we go. We need more arrows. We desperately need more arrows. Very crucial. And we also need to look to see if I can use purple shield.
Hello again.
Okay, we're gonna deposit. And we'll look at a sword too. I'm not gonna like buy a sword, but we'll look at it. Okay, that can go. That can go. Mercury Rapier, S-Stock, Jerry Stiletto, Silver Catalyst. Oh, I was gonna Meltstone that, is why I have that on. Why I have that. Honestly, let's just deposit it. Let's just drop it off. Well, we do need to try it at some point. Because I want to see if I can use a heater shield as like a dex character. I don't actually know.
You have a...
Okay, we're a little over the line. Okay. Really close though. This is really important that we have this actually. This is like actually the most important shield in the game. Roughly. I wouldn't say it's the most important per se, but very good. Oh, there's Ostrava Boletaria.
At its peak, Boletaria was a grand kingdom. The king, his knights, and his subjects were in the distant southern kingdom. But look, I refuse to believe that this is... Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords are demon brand. One sword banishes that which befouls man. The last hero is King Doran is the everlasting one, founder of but in the dark state of our land. King Alant led Boletaria with a round table of brave knights.
Really?
Royal Twin Fangs, Valafax and Bjor, Alfred, the Knight of the Tower, Metas, the Knight of the Lance, and the brave tribesman Longbow Ulan and his fit. But today, Valafax was lost, and Bjor slipped through the fissure, never to all the rest, along with Boletaria, have been devoured. The Boletarian, but perhaps our age will see.
Okay.
But perhaps our...
Okay. Where's the demon? Where's the main in black? So yeah, I guess I can't use this yet. Yeah, well, that's a guess. I didn't know Vati was making videos for that long, dude. That's a long time. That's actually really incredible. Because that would mean he's been doing YouTube for like 15 years. Okay, where the heck is the main in black? We need a maiden in black. We need ya. Where are ya?
Back in the time, the King of Land left on some strange. Soon, the land was my spine. If I did not have my miracle stone shard.
Oh, I too am on a quest. May I share God's...
Okay. Whoa, cool. Huh. There you go. Fascinating.
I see. I pray.
Who are you?
I have sinned. I swore allegiance to Saint, and now I have run away.
Okay.
Oh Lord, for I have not the...
Okay, fascinating. Where the heck is the Maiden in Black? I mean, I don't even remember. What does he do at the end? Oh, he gives you some, or he gives you the key to Demon Brand and Valorfat, or Demon Brand, right?
No use for miscreants.
He gives you the key for for the
Hello.
thing, right?
You assisted me in, but at my age, I do not believe.
Hmm.
But at my age,
Okay, because I don't know if int or magic or whatever. Yeah. So my guess. So he gives you the key for Valorfax or Demon Brand or something, right? Or no, not Valorfax. The key for the item. What a great tutorial system. They're just all over the place. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's so crazy. He's been doing that video. He's been doing YouTube for that long. It's like really interesting. Because I was watching one of his videos not that long ago. I think he had a video about Sekiro or something not that long ago that I was watching. And I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. Apparently he's been making videos for a really, really, really long time. He's like Video Game Donkey or something. Where he just has been making videos for decades upon decades. Or, yeah, I think the Donkey's been making videos for like going on almost 2 decades now. I think. Because I don't know if I was 10 when I was watching Donkey, but yeah. I was watching Donkey when I was like 15. When he did League of Legends stuff. Because League of Legends was kind of new back then. Yeah, the problem is nowadays he does a bunch of streamer bait games. Which, like, I don't mind. I don't hate streamer bait games. But, like, I see he does a lot of streamer bait games. A lot of, like, you know, getting over it and stuff like that. Where you're just like... You know, like these games that really aren't that hard, but are funny because you watch Jerma play them and he's like flipping out. You know, like Jerma's like, what? You know, it's like Jerma, and he has like some bit that he breaks into when he like loses a bunch of progress. Yeah, I guess Metal Gear Solid 5 is another game that people are really crazy about too. Where's the Maiden in Black? Why is there no Maiden in Black? At this point, I'm kind of like shocked. Where is she? She's apparently got she got to tend to all the candles and stuff around here. Where is the Maiden in Black? I'm like actually kind of shocked. Should I just leave and come back? And maybe she'll actually appear. Is she just like at the top of the tower for no reason? Wouldn't that be funny if the Maiden in Black was just like gone half the time you came here? There's like no explanation for it. And so you'd like look around trying to find the Maiden in Black, and you couldn't do it. Okay, you must be higher up, right? Maiden in Black must be above where I am, right? gotta get this nice 10 minutes. Yeah, oh yeah. No, we got plenty of Dark Souls, Demon Souls later. Demon Souls we're gonna be playing Demon Souls for a while. We're gonna be playing Demon Souls for a good long while. Yeah. So be prepared for like 6 or 7 Demon Souls runs. I'm not sure exactly how many. I need to like look and find out. But we're gonna go. There's gonna be strength. There's gonna be dex. There's gonna be int. There's gonna be faith. There's going to be non-scaling. So there's at least 5 right there. And then there's going to be luck. And then there's going to be quality. And then there's going to be all the way to +5 too. And so yeah, we got plenty of Demon Souls. Plenty of Demon Souls. That's just as much as you like. As much Demon Souls as you could ever want, basically. Where is the Maiden in Black? I'm like missing her or something, right? Where is she? I can't find the Maiden in Black. Where's the Maiden in Black? Oh, hey, here's some treasure. There you go. Okay, well, whatever. I guess I got something for my troubles. For my lost. What has he got to say?
We neutralized the Old One and banned the Soul Ark. However, man's the Monumentals perished, and the short-sighted.
Okay, great, awesome. Yeah. So where is the Maiden in Black? Is that? Oh no, it's Dex next. I'm not even gonna put a poll up. It's Dex. We'll get to all of them. Don't worry. There's no point. We're going to do them all, so there's kind of no point. Like, I could go poll, but then eventually I'm going to run out of poll options for it. And I don't, like... I'm not opposed to a poll for something where the choice really matters. But, like, this is not a scenario where the choice matters. That's the problem. It's not like, you know, it's not like I'm not, for any circumstances, going to not do any of them. You know what I mean? Like, they're all going to get done, so I may as well just do them in the order I feel like, or the order that is appropriate to me. Yeah, exactly. They're all getting done. So it's, I could do a poll, but that would be lying. It would be lying to imply under any circumstances that I'm not going to just do them all. So we'll do Dex next, and then that way it's just nice and simple. And then I'll do Int, and then I get to keep track of it more. I don't want to have to forget one of them or something like that. I don't want some weirdo stuff like that to happen. I mean, like, for promotional purposes, I guess it makes sense. But by the same token, I don't want to imply under any circumstances that they're not all going to get done. Okay, I'm just going to reset because this is, like, nuts. Like, where even is she? Where's the Maiden in Black? We need her. We need the Maiden in Black. Where's our Goth GF? Where's the Goth GF? I need a Goth GF. There she is. Okay, where were you? Where the heck were you? Jeez. Let's go strength.
Art thou done? Main that.
Because we can hit the 30 soft cap. And then no. Buy item. Need more arrows. Okay. Now we kill the boss. Which is so crazy. It's like apparently she's just not there half the time. I don't know. I don't know where she was. I'm not sure if I'm just missing something. Or I don't know how she's in some place I just didn't check. But that is wild. Like, she literally wasn't even there. She just wasn't on. She didn't appear. She's just like, nope. We're not gonna appear today. Oh, how strange. I might see a movie tomorrow. Speaking of which, we'll see. I probably not actually. Probably I will see tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I need to go look at the movie listings and see if there's a movie I actually want to see. Because there's some documentary that's coming out soonish. And that's actually something I want to see. But I don't know if that's next week or what the deal with that is. Because documentaries don't usually last at the theater very long. So if I see a documentary I want to see, I gotta go see it as more or less as soon as I can. Oh, boom. Oh, come on. Aw, you. Thank goodness for my armor. Sekiro, get up. Oh, come on. Well. Do it again. Give it another shot. Yeah, you know, I mean, winter's setting in here. So, I'm a little tired. That's for sure. I mean, it's really not winter yet, to be honest with you. The difference between winter and what's going on right now outside is different. There's a big distinction, actually. It's like actually like 40 degrees outside during the day or something. So hopefully it doesn't snow until January, which has happened in the past. We've had Christmases where it hasn't snowed until the ow. We've had Christmases here where it hasn't snowed until, you know. Oh boy. If he sounds again, we're dead. Grass thief. Stinky grass thief. Okay. Got that covered. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh. But where am I going? Is it this way? Yes, it is. It is this way. Because there's the... Oh, come on. I rolled through that. Oh, you. Okay. Well, luckily, I guess we need to run past the gobbledygook guy. The one guy. The goofball. The meat goofball. The meatball enemy. That's one problem here. Once you get to the boss, it'll be real easy. It'll be like a real comedy show for haha funny times. We'll kill the boss really lickety-split. Where am I going? Is it this way? Yes. No? No. It's one down, one more. Because we should be past this. Yeah, we don't want to go that way. We could. We don't want to. We want to go this way. Yeah, so it's one more down. Then, let's see. No. Yes, it's this way. Okay. Hopefully the meatball doesn't kill me. Yeah, that's right, meatball. And don't you forget it, Mr. Meatball. Oh. Unbelievable. Even the meatballs these days are talking back. You believe it? Just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Okay, so this boss should be easy. We should be able to kill this boss in like 2 seconds. Why are we killing this boss again? Oh, for Royal Soldier Lotus. Or for Royal Lotus. Right? We need a bunch of those. Okay, yeah, 15 of those should be enough for Valley Defilement. And then we go to 5-1. And we kill... Yeah, and we kill Leechmonger. And then we grab Murden Hammer. And then we farm Greystone. And then we pick off... And then we go kill Dragon God. And, or no, I guess we can unlock Soul Farm first. Nah, forget that. Oh wait, why did we skip that cutscene? I want that cutscene. The cutscene's freaking hilarious. Fool's Idol's cute as all heck. She's kawaii. Poor Fool's Idol. Pick off the Zombers. Ow. Did she do anything yet? Okay. Oh, okay, she just... So that woke her up, I guess. I'm close enough or something? I don't know. Let me kill your zombies, bro. Love that sound effect. Those are the stun runes. That's one of the fakes. So I should have known. That's also one of the fakes, okay. Really dumb. Okay. There we go. Right off the rip. Oh yeah. This flame bow. Wow, I'm lucky. That's lucky. Insane RNG. Bruh. Bruh. Got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. I don't even gotta try to control you. Something that got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. Okay. I think it teleports me here. So I can't even get the treasure. I have to come back for the treasure, I guess? Is that what they're telling me? Yeah, see, now you know where the scene from Anor Londo comes from. This is how you get to Anor Londo, too. Look at that. Pretty heckin' hilarious, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna need a bunch of... Well, let's see. We'll level up and then we'll see what I can do. So I have to come back to the boss arena to pick up whatever the treasure is. Because again, I think maybe I approached it wrong. Maybe there's a way to approach it without triggering the thing. Okay, so maybe, yeah, whatever. We'll grab it. We'll come back and see what it is. Probably it's nothing important, but we'll check it out anyway. Yeah, as you can see, very simple. Where's the Maiden in Black? Maiden in Black, if you give me any trouble, I'm going to just teleport away and come back. Okay, that's fine, Maiden in Black. Actually, I guess we can. Well, I don't want to lose these souls. Let's just do it. And then we can get our strength scaling weapon online, which should help us which should help us clean out the remaining bosses, because they're not easy. Well, we basically have a weapon good enough to beat all of the remaining bosses in the game, essentially, and that's Flamebow. Flamebow is literally good enough for like 100% of the game's bosses, basically. And I mean that literally. Well, sort of. There's you need other weapons for like Dragon God and stuff, technically. So there's technically you technically would want another. You technically do need another weapon for Dragon God. That is something that's actually really important to mention. How much is it to level up? Like 5 grand? Maybe we'll hold on to these for a minute. Okay, no, let's grab Heater Shield.
Hello again.
We'll grab Heater Shield. We'll oh wait, wrong one. Deposit item. Whatever I just picked up. Yeah, Kite Shield. I don't need Kite Shield.
You have a heart.
We'll mess with Heater Shield at some point. So I think, but I think right now I'll Meltstone it. Can I do that with him? Baldwin. He's pretty bad for blacksmith.
I can tell you're not gonna...
He's like really bad for a blacksmith. He's like hilariously bad for a blacksmith. Ed is like infinitely superior as a blacksmith. It's like Macduff versus what's his face. Except even what's his face is pretty okay as a blacksmith. You can't infuse with him, but you can do everything else with him. So really goofy. Okay. Yeah, but we could literally use the weapon, the flame bow, for every boss, every remaining boss except Dragon God. And for that we don't need anything fancier than like a sword. Like we could use like an unupgraded longsword for that, because there's a couple like barriers you have to smash. There's a couple like rocks, like crates and stuff like that, right? So technically we could oh, wrong one. We're gonna Meltstone this out. So now we have a basic Heater Shield. Honestly, we should just bought. Honestly, this is not worth the trip. We could have just bought another Heater Shield. So I want to try this out later. I think it's better than Soldier Shield by just a little tiny amount. It's a little bit heavier, but we may need that for the Dex character. So we're going to try this in some scenarios where there's lots of fire, and we're going to see how well it does. And I guess what we do... How much Hearthstone... I don't know how much Hearthstone I have. Let's see if he tells me. What's up, homeboy? We could buy Crescent Moon Grass, I guess. Sure. Well, we can farm. We'll be able to farm souls later anyway, so it's fine. It's fine because we'll just farm souls later. We'll just do ourselves the favor of farming souls later. Is what we'll do. Okay, we go Archstone. Yep. And then where are we going? What are we doing? Oh yeah, we need to get. We need to go to Valley Defilement. This is the fun part. This is everyone's favorite part, Valley Defilement. Hooray, Valley Defilement. Hooray. Hip hip hooray. The Valley Defilement, everyone. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. 3 cheers for the Valley Defilement. Hold on, we need to die. We actually need to go back to the Nexus and die. Forget about that part. If we don't die, we could lose World Tendency, which we don't want to do. There's like I'm not shooting for Black World Tendency as his character. There's essentially no incentive for Black World Tendency. Like at all. There's just no incentive for Black World Tendency. It's a complete dud. Complete dud. Has no value. Well, there's some items you can get out of it, but in this particular case, there's literally nothing of value in Black World Tendency. The Nexus, our Nexus will be Black World Tendency, but that doesn't affect anything. So we just respawn. Now we go. Where are we going? Oh yeah, Valley Defilement. We're gonna try this here to shield out. Yeah, maybe I'll do a poll for the next game. So it's probably going to be Sekiro, but I might do a poll for games after that. I might do a poll that's like, hey, what game do you want me to learn? So I can stream. And it'll be like Fable, and then like, you know, and I'll have some like random options on there of like ones I look at. Mass Effect or something. Because I might not cover... I can't cover every game in the galaxy, obviously, right? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So I think that's an area where a poll is going to be a lot more interesting for people. Well, let's try this heater shield. Hit me, brother. Oh, he's dead. Okay, well, that explains everything. Yeah, so that might be something we do, is like a poll where I'm like, what video game do you want me to cover next? And it's going to be like... Sekiro, Elden Ring, you know, stuff like that. Pokemon, I might have a Pokemon game on there. BioShock Infinite, BioShock series, Fable, we'll do Fable. There'll be some interesting options there for sure. Morningstar. Speaking of interesting options... So that's probably... So I probably will do a poll in the future, but it'll be about that. I'm a little nervous about nobody answering it. Just like 1% nervous about that, but it's okay. If nobody answers, it's fine. I just may not do another poll for a while, in that case. Well, I mean, I probably don't want to do tons of polls anyway. But you're right that a poll probably sounds like a good idea. But I think, like I said, it's going to be for what game I cover after Demon Souls or something. It's going to be like... Do people want to see Skyrim? Do people want to see Morrowind? Do people want to see Mass Effect? Do people want to see Fable? Do people want to see something else? Do people want to see some NES games? Do people want to see Sekiro? Well, I mean, I think Sekiro's a given. I think I'm just going to have to do Sekiro. Not that I mind. But, you know, I'm resigned to Sekiro being a thing. For sure. Do people want to see, you know, they want to see Bioshock? I got Bioshock in the tank. Do people want to see Diablo 2? That's one I could do. Pull up. Hit me. Okay, okay. And that's a pretty crappy weapon to... be blocking. So I think Heater Shield doesn't really do much for me there. It's alright. Oh. What's up, homeboy? What was I saying? Yeah, so like, Sekiro's gonna happen, Elden Ring's gonna happen. So maybe I should just kind of like lock in to those games. The problem is I don't have Elden Ring yet, so I need to buy it still. But so far streaming Demon Souls has been pretty good, so in terms of like my computer and stuff. The problem with Elden Ring is I'm worried my computer won't be able to do it. I'm actually very worried that my computer will not be able to stream, record, and play at the same time. That I am actually legitimately afraid of that. So I'll need to do some testing before Elden Ring happens. There's a slight possibility that I can't do Elden Ring yet. That I need to like I need to upgrade my computer or get a new one or something before Elden Ring happens. That's one thing I'm very afraid of, to be honest with you. And I was kind of worried about Demon Souls even originally. That was something I was legitimately afraid of, was Demon Souls with the emulator wouldn't do it. But so far it's been pretty good. Yeah, I got some GBA classic games I could do too. I'm pretty good at some of those. So we got, you know, there's lots of stuff. But my videos for Oblivion didn't do very well. But I also wasn't streaming Oblivion, so, you know, probably to a certain extent that's just YouTuber error, right? It's like I didn't really prep the games, I didn't really glaze the games. Dark Souls is a bit of an anomaly, in a lot of ways, and it's you know, I think the original Oblivion is actually not that popular. I think Oblivion Remastered was kind of an anomaly, right? Whereas a lot of people who are really interested in the Oblivion Remastered, and there's a lot of people who are interested in Oblivion, but when you go on YouTube, before Oblivion Remastered, when you went on YouTube, it was like jokes. It was like all jokes at Oblivion's expense. It's like, you know, footage of somebody going like, "Did you hear about the Empire, the Emperor's murder?" And then it's like some guy going like, "No, well, have a good day," and then they like move on, or something, right? And it's like this footage of like the NPC system being like really terrible. And like the conversations between like the random NPCs making no sense. When if you actually play the game, it's not that bad. It is kind of that bad. The conversations are kind of sus, but they're not that bad. It's a bigger issue with the people doing the voices don't necessarily have a fully realized context, I theorize. So you end up with a lot of lines sounding really robotic, which is the bigger issue. Because, you know, they're sitting there, you know what's going on when they're recording lines for those games. And they're just sitting there in a box just banging out lines with no context. It's like, okay, this is you're the Thieves Guild captain, and now you're going to do a bunch of lines as the Thieves Guild captain, and they're not necessarily going to be even in like order and crap like that, you know? So that was kind of the issue there, was would be my theory for why a lot of the deliveries don't sound very good in Oblivion. You know, the voice actor's there in the studio for 8 hours or more, just banging out lines with no context over and over and over again. And so and they're doing this you know, voice, right? But I think Skyrim has that same problem too, where you do like the Dark Brotherhood questline and there's like some deliveries that are just insanely terrible. Just like the crappiest deliveries you can possibly imagine. Like deliveries where I'm like, how did they not do another take of this? Like, is it on purpose that this delivery is really bad, or is that it? Like, what's going on? And then so Skyrim, there's like one quest where you're supposed to like assassinate a woman on her wedding day, or whatever. And there's like a way you're supposed to do it. And I get to the Dark Brotherhood quests, they're supposed to be kind of stupid. It's like everyone's hamming it up, you know, Cicero knows, you know, and just like crap like the Night Mother, you know, all this crap. Okay, I get it. But then there's like one delivery by a guy and he's like, it's just the most like deadpan, like I don't even care at all kind of delivery. Like, oh no, she's been murdered or something. And that's like, they like had that in the game and it's like not clear why they thought that was like good. But I guess maybe they thought it was funny. Because it's supposed to be ridiculous. It's supposed to be like stupid and ridiculous, obviously. I mean, so there you go, you know. So, I mean, there you go, right? I mean, that's just how it is. Oh, here's the rats. Here's everyone's favorite, the rats. Bye-bye, rats. Keep that MFing thing on me. Excuse me for the profanity. You can also farm stones of ephemeral eyes off these guys. Bow and arrow souls. They call this game bow. Oh, it's not stones of ephemeral eyes. It's archstone shards, for some reason. Is there one more? No. Okay. Crescent moongrass. There you go. Where? Oh. I don't like the cut of this guy's jib, so we're just gonna snipe him. Okay, and then this guy. Can I block? Well, let's try this. Okay, I can block him. Just not super well. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, okay. So that's Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, I guess, farm. As if you'd want to kill those enemies. I don't even know how to get down there. How to get over there. I don't know if there's a spot where you can cheese Leechmonger either. There might be. We're gonna find out. Oh. Uh-oh. We got the homeboy squad. We got the frickin' squad pulling up. Oh god. The squad's pulling up. The squad's pulling out. They don't know us. I don't pull out. The squad's pulling up. But. So, you know, I'm all in. That's me. Right there. God. Anyway, let's move along. Oh. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. I'll tell these boys up front. It's like I'm not backing down. I'm all in, no matter what. That's it. I'm playing to win. This is what these gentlemen don't know. So broken. Just so broken. Just unfair. I love this stupid thing. This thing frickin' rules. See, honestly, magic doesn't have to be that overpowered when you have crap like this. Like, I don't think this is the strongest version of magic in the series. But it doesn't have to be. Cause I got... What are we doing? Where does this... What is this dead end? Oh, okay, it goes down. The leeches kind of creep me out. I'm, like, confused. I'm, like, concerned. Oh, here we go. Yep, Leechmonger. Who's ready for the Leechmonger? So we have the, we have Turpentine, too. So if we can't... Because he's a weird boss. He only does two things. He shoots at you, and he... Oh, I skipped the cutscene on accident. He shoots at you, and he heals. Those are the only two things he does. He only does two things, and one of them is shoot at you, and the other one is heal. So, I think we can kill him, though, with enough arrows. We might have. We may need to melee him. With flame bow kind of breaks the equation though, because he can't necessarily heal through the damage. I think we're missing sometimes here, and I'm not sure why. You re-aim it, I guess. No way. We don't even need to do Turpentine? Oh my god. He literally cannot do anything to us. Oh my god. So usually I was prepared to do this with Turpentine. I was straight up prepared to do this with Turpentine. I was 100% like prepared to be like, oh, let's just Turpentine it. Does it get faster? Or is no? I think I'm working him down. Uh-oh. I may need to lure him into firing at me to finish him off. It's slowly working. Yeah, oh my gosh. Broken. This thing is broken. Oh my gosh. Just can't even do anything to me. I mean, I spent like 100 arrows. But like, come on, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's just there's nothing you can do about it, you know? Like, he tried so hard, and he got so far. But in the end, it just didn't even matter. It's like, can you believe it? And I get a bunch of free Crescent Moongrass, too. Try to Faint Stone, don't need that. Crescent Moongrass, okay. Oh my, I know, this game is, like, so goofy. Well, no, but you know what the crazy thing is? Like, you'd be like, oh, well, you're cheesing the game. I mean, you're not supposed to have Lava Bow, like, right now, right? And, like, that's a fair point. But okay, there's two things to that. The first point is that, like, there's no other good place to put your Hardstone. I don't want to Hardstone any other weapon. Why would I want to Hardstone any other weapon than a bow? Like, you literally just, like, need the bow to kill Armor Spider, right? Like, that's the easiest way to kill Armor Spider. There's no better way to kill Armor Spider. It's just so simple. I don't have to think about it at all, right? And then Flame Lurker is going to be a problem literally no matter what I do. Okay, unless I get, like, Sticky White stuff and a Murden Hammer, there's no better way to kill Flame Lurker, right? So, it's, like, kind of crazy. I don't have another choice. This is actually just, like, this is too good, yeah. But also, it's just, like, kind of funny, too. Okay, so now we go get Murden Hammer. Well, now, first we die. And then we get Murden Hammer. Morningstar is actually kind of cool. We'll deal with that later, though. What am I buying from... Or no. Yes, we want arrows. We need arrows. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like not... arrows aren't exactly expensive, either. You can get plenty of them. And then this way we don't have to deal with Shrine of Storms. We don't have to deal with any of that crap. We don't have to sit there trying to get... copies of... You know... We don't have to sit there trying to get copies of you know, whatever. Oh, there's Clover Rat Ring, speaking of which. Look at that.
You have a...
Okay, where are we going? Oh, yeah. We need to die and then go to... And get Murden Hammer. And then we need to farm Greystone. And then we take the Murden Hammer and we use it to... And then we kill Dragon God. And we can get Dragon Bone Smasher. We're not going to use Dragon Bone Smasher, but we can get it. And then that way we can... And then we can farm a bunch of colorless Demon Souls, like gas, or whatever that's worth. And then... but I don't... Dragon Bone Smasher is pretty bad, honestly. It really doesn't do anything for us, to be honest with you. It's kind of okay, but that's like it. What does this weigh? What does this spear weigh? Oh. Oh, come on. Wait, 2.5. Okay, so that's going to be... I think Burden Hammer's heavier than that, so... That's one issue we're going to have here, but that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We suck it up. Chunk of Faint Stone. Okay, cool. Whatever. I don't even... What does Faint Stone do again? Is that magic? I can't remember. I don't know. Cloudstone is dark. So that's a magic shield. So for whatever reason, Cloudstone even exists in the game. I'm not sure why. I don't know who's sitting there making use of Cloudstone. I'm not sure what possible value... I think maybe so you can block Mind Flayers? You know, like, I guess that's probably what they're thinking. I don't know. Okay, so... This is the swamp everyone loves. But we're not going to stick around here. We actually don't want to be here at all. This place, the less we see of this place, the better. But we need to grab something from here. This is like the worst swamp in any Souls game ever. This makes Blighttown look like Disneyland. This place is real bad, real nasty and bad. And our weapons aren't really good enough for this place either, for that matter. Like, except for the lava bow. Lava bow changes things, right? Obviously, that weapon is a little overpowered. But other than that, we don't really have a weapon suitable for this place. This spear just isn't it. So this is what I mean when I say you're kind of pigeonholed 100% into... There it is. Okay, we need that. And we can just die now. In fact, actually, we're just going to Dark Sign. We're just going to Dark Sign. Yeah. Now we farm Greystone. Now we upgrade it and farm Greystone. Okay, how much does it weigh? We need to see how much it weighs. 3.5? Okay, I think I can do that. Oh, no, not quite. We need to take off Heater Shield. We need to replace Heater Shield with...
Hello, I'm Keep.
So I'll mess with Heater Shield later. Take item. Soldier Shield. We'll try that. See if I can fast roll with that. I guess I can take my hat off, but armor is actually really good in this game. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, I got it. And then we go fire, bow. So we need these arrows like crazy. We go to Flame Lurker Archstone. Oh wait, no, we need to upgrade. What am I doing? We need to see where we actually are on the upgrade tree here before I bother with that. So yeah, pulls, like I said, pulls are coming. So if you want to have input on what game I play for like a month, the poll is going to be your opportunity to choose. For right now, it's Demon Souls. It's just how it is. I did Dark Souls. People love the Dark Souls videos. So Demon Souls is what we're doing now. And I'll do a video where I'm like getting started on Demon Souls. I'll explain to you how to like get the emulator. Oh, I won't do too much on the emulator, but I'll go over the emulator briefly and how it works, or like that it does work. And then I'll talk about the differences in gameplay between Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and I'll focus on that. And oh, we need souls for this. Okay, whatever. We'll farm some Hearthstone. We'll do a cycle here. And then that'll be the Demon Souls set of videos, just for completion's sake. And then I'm working on Sekiro in the background. So I have Sekiro. I'm working on Sekiro. I've beaten it once, and I'm on the cusp of beating it twice. I'm at Demon of Hatred. So I did bad end first. So I killed Ishin, Ashina, and Emma and Ishin. And now I'm working on the second half of Sekiro for the good ending. And then I'll probably do two more. I'll probably do two more for the other two endings. Is this really... Man, this farming path is going to suck. Because I think I have to go all the way back this way to do this. Oh, and I one-shot him too. Fucking sweet Lois. Frickin' sweet Lois. Hey, Brian. Peter Griffin is like objectively evil. He's chaotic here. He's evil, lawful. He's lawful evil. That's how you describe Peter Griffin. Lawful evil. That's pretty good, actually. Peter Griffin is lawful evil, for sure. Definitely. I think that's the joke. But I think over time it's got progressively made less and less sense. I think it's a situation where originally... Oh? Ah. Originally it was like... He was supposed to be evil. Like, because he's kind of like an evil Homer. Like the thing is that the Simpsons and Family Guy are like closely interrelated. Because they're both really popular. And so they kind of have like had to interact with each other, right? So Peter Griffin himself is based on like the era of Homer where he's like a huge jerk. So originally, Matt Groening's original vision for Homer was that he was actually supposed to be a satire on his own father. Like a general satire, and like a satire on like a lot of like fathers, right? Where he has this idea about what being a man and being and like the relationship. He has this idea about what being a man is. And this idea about what being a boy is. And he has this idea about the relationship between him and his son. And then in reality, that's all just nonsense, right? So like Flanders kind of represents a meta-narrative foil. Or a narrative foil where Flanders doesn't have that preconception. Like Flanders does, sort of, right? But it's not the same. It's like Flanders has like a different idea about what his relationship with his children is than... so we need 3 more Hearthstone. Flanders has like a very different idea about his relationship to his children, right? And so Flanders is kind of the opposite of that in some ways. But if you watch more Simpsons, Flanders does also have that idea. Flanders is also kind of the same. But anyway, so Homer's supposed to represent. So he like yells at Bart every time Bart gets in trouble because he has to clean it up. But then at the same time, there's episodes where he's like, a boy without mischief is like a bowling ball without a liquid center. Because he's reading some advertisement about a bowling ball with a liquid center. And that's kind of the idea, right? But then later on, the show changes, and it's suddenly, because Matt Groening's not at the helm anymore. And so increasingly, The Simpsons is about, wackiness. It's about like wacky social satire or something, where Homer's like this outrageous goofball who is like a cartoon character, right? And so then Family Guy comes around, and Family Guy kind of riffs on that. Like, well, first Family Guy was not really a riff of... The original Peter Griffin is actually supposed to kind of be like an anti-Homer. He's actually not like Homer at all in the early episodes of Family Guy, presumably because they wanted to differentiate themselves from The Simpsons, right? So the early season Peter Griffin is very different from early season, or from Homer, either early season or mid-season, or mid-2000s Homer, late 90s, early 2000s Homer, right? But the thing about it is that because Homer was so wacky, progressively Peter Griffin got wackier and wackier and wackier, right? Like Peter Griffin kind of ironically plays, like I wouldn't say the straight man, but he sort of is like, there's a degree of him supposed to be kind of like innocuous in those super early episodes where he's like there's the wacky salesman guy. And like Peter Griffin's the straight man, and the wacky salesman's guy is the funny man. Does that make sense? So if you watch modern Family Guy, Peter Griffin is always the funny man. It's like every character is like the straight man, and then Peter. Well, that's sort of not true actually, because you'll have like gag characters. But the basic idea is that a lot of times Peter Griffin is supposed to be the funny man when, I guess in more cases he would play the straight man, right? So like he'd be talking to Brian. I'd be like, "Oh, Brian, I don't know what's going on with the factory, with the toy factory. I try to do all the work I can." And then Brian makes like a joke about, how he's an alcoholic or something, right? And that's like the idea, right? And so there's a lot of episodes where they're kind of riffing on Peter or whatever, right? And he plays like the straight man, whereas like nowadays he's like super wacky. So I think as time went on, he became progressively more like Homer, as like a parody of Homer's wackiness. Because remember, Family Guy was like new during what people would call the Simpsons golden age, right? So when you say Simpsons, this is the problem with the Simpsons. And this has always been the problem with the Simpsons, okay? Is the golden age of the Simpsons is like a controversial idea. Because there's a lot of people who would tell you that the golden age of The Simpsons, it was in like the 80s, was in like the late 80s, early 90s, right? Where The Simpsons was mostly like more traditional episodes with like Bart's teacher and stuff like that, right? These episodes that were considered really arty and really fancy, right? Whereas a lot of people nowadays would say that the golden age of Simpsons was like late 90s, early 2000s, because those are all the episodes where Homer's wacky, right? So there's a whole generation of kids who grew up watching The Simpsons that have a very different experience with The Simpsons from the people who watched The Simpsons when it was new. And so when you talk about a golden age of Simpsons, you have there's like an inherent problem. There's a disconnect between reality, because we're talking about two different eras of The Simpsons. We're talking about The Simpsons when it was like considered artistic, and then there's a Simpsons when it was like, you know, where it's like goofy and stuff. It's like the Bear Watch episode, I think, although Bear Watch episode's a pretty good episode in general, right? So the point being here is that Peter Griffin is like begins his journey as being like an anti-Homer, and then by now he's like a worse version of Homer or something. He's like a version of a Homer that doesn't even exist anymore. Like Homer being like super wacky and like you know, slapping people with gloves and running people over and stuff like that. So a great example of this is this is something I was looking into, and it's one of my like big brain, like the aliens are watching this, or not the aliens are watching this, but like my big brain like Illuminati theory. Okay, and that is that there's an episode of Simpsons where Homer, they see like a crappy movie. They see like this crappy, him and Marge and the family go and see this crappy Zorro movie. And like in the middle of the movie, Zorro like slaps a guy with a glove, and he's like, "I challenge you to a duel." And then it's like really stupid. And I think it's a parody of a movie that was an actual Zorro movie that was from the 90s. Because I think I've seen little tiny bits of this crappy Zorro movie from the 90s. But anyway, so he decides that he's gonna like challenge people to duels, and that's like what he does. And so he goes out there, and he like slaps people with gloves, and he gets his way. So he like goes to like the Quickie Mart, and he's like, and so like the end of the joke is he goes to the Quickie Mart, and he's like, "Glove slap, I challenge you to a duel, everyone get out of my way," and stuff like that. And there's a parody of Love Shack called Glove Slap that they do in that episode. So it's a really great episode. It's a really, really funny episode where Homer's like, and there's like a parody of Love Shack, where he's like, "Glove slap, I don't take crap," or whatever, right? And so then he's like slapping people with gloves, and he gets whatever he wants. And then eventually he slaps the guy with the glove who accepts his offer of a duel with pistols. And so like he has to like, you know, like shoot this guy or whatever, right? And it's like really scary. And then it becomes a Tamako episode. So that's the crazy thing about that, is that episode is like totally different from the Tamako episode. So the premise just shifts completely. There's essentially no continuity. Oh shoot, I'm overburned. There's functionally no continuity between the first half of the episode and the second half. It's completely insane. It's literally completely deranged. I don't know why they thought that made sense. It's legitimately crazy. That they thought that made any sense at all. So there's like no continuation. Whatever. We'll just leave it behind. It could be pure Greystone, I guess. How many Greystone? I guess what if I just drop one of these on the ground? This is like not worth it at all. Or no, we'll drop the Faint Stone. Look at that. I don't care about that. That's worthless. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Okay, we'll drop the Faint Stone over here. I don't need this. This is nothing. I don't need this at all. The only reason I usually store them is because it's easier than dropping them on the ground. Okay, come on, game. Come on, you're gonna do this to me, brother? What am I on burn? Oh, I guess I could just equip the ring. What am I doing? So instead of Ring of Great Strength, we'll put on Ring of Herculean Strength. There we go. So I slow roll now, but yeah, sure, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So where's it going with this story? So yeah, it's like a really stupid premise, right? Like, how do we go from this whole like glove slap dueling thing to an episode about to the frickin' Tamako episode with Sneed's? That's the episode of Sneed's Seed and Feed. So that's how crazy that episode is. That's like that's like an insanely memed episode of The Simpsons. It's potentially one of the most popular episodes of The Simpsons ever. because it's one of the most memed episodes of The Simpsons. Okay? So now, about a year later, literally a year later, like a year and a day later, there's an episode of Family Guy where Peter and Brian go to a closing video store, which is, by the way, early 2000s, like, Americana to the T. Like, that's hilarious. But they go to a closing video store, and while they're at this closing video store, he buys Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse, the film Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. And as he does, and as he buys, and they go home and they watch it, he's like, "Oh wow, Brian, I can just roundhouse kick people and get whatever I want." And so then he goes around the rest, and so then there's a big segment where he goes around roundhouse kicking stuff and getting away with and doing whatever he wants, right? What is this? Oh. Why am I slow rolling? Okay, there it goes. That's weird. Okay, so he goes around roundhouse kicking people and getting whatever he wants, and Brian's like, "Peter, you can't just roundhouse kick people and get whichever you want. Get whatever you want." And he's like, "Oh yeah, Brian," and then he roundhouse kicks him, and it's like hilarious, right? And so yeah, it's like an homage to that Simpsons episode. It's like full blown straight up. My theory is it's full blown straight up an homage to that Simpsons episode, like actually modeled after that Simpsons episode, as like an homage. My theory is that's my theory. And then I think the episode evolves into something else. Now, the episode also has another layer of amusement to it because Patrick Swayze had just died. So, Roadhouse starring Patrick Swayze, obviously. So the episode also has a couple bits that are supposedly homages to Roadhouse, to the film Roadhouse as well. So that's another funny thing about it. But I think the episode then evolves into something else too. There's a whole bit where he roundhouse kicks, and it's like even more silly, like he's driving the car by roundhouse kicking the steering wheel, right? And he like roundhouse kicks a fast food order window or something, and it like breaks. And there's like a bunch of really stupid like stuff where he roundhouse kicks stuff. I think that's the episode where he roundhouse kicks Lucy from Charlie Brown, which really sat wrong with me. I actually really like Lucy from Charlie Brown. I get that's the joke, but like, it sits a little wrong with me. I think that's the episode where he roundhouse kicks Lucy from Charlie Brown. I think that's the bit for that one. But yeah, I mean, there you go. Okay, so we need more chunks of Greystone here. And then once we have this to maxed out, and we kill Dragon God and get the pure Greystone. And then, from what's his face, what do I have to show him? I need to look it up. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, and then we kill Dragon God. We get it to +9, and then we kill Dragon God, and then we get the pure Greystone, and then we get it to +10. And then once we have it to +10, we can kill any boss we want in the game, basically. So we can go to Shrine of Storms and clean that place out real good. And then we'll unlock the Soul Farm. It doesn't really matter, honestly. We can literally go anywhere we want at this point. But we'll probably just unlock the Soul Farm. We'll go to 5. We'll go to 4-1 and unlock the Soul Farm after this. What was I going with that story about? Yeah, so I'm like 99% sure that Family Guy episode is an homage to that Simpsons episode, because it literally aired like a year and a day later. Like they saw that Simpsons episode and they thought it was hilarious. They literally thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen in their whole lives, and then they immediately were like, we need to do a Simpsons episode that's like a riff on this. And then, like, Patrick Swayze died or something, and they worked that in, or something like that, yeah. But that's what I'm saying, is like Peter Griffin is being, like, Homer. Like, an accelerated version of Homer. You know, like, woohoo! You know, like all the layers of why he's like Homer. How he's like, how in some ways the current Homer, Peter Griffin is, like, more a continuation of, like, Homer than modern Homer is. And then on top of that, like, Bart is being the main... Like, that's another thing that changed, right? Is, like, Bart being the main character of The Simpsons in the early seasons, and progressively, it's more and more Homer. So you'll still have Bart episodes, but, like, Homer is, like, the crucial... Like you're watching Homer, but there's a certain joy to that, because, like, that part where he, like, steps on a rusty nail, and he's like, fiddly-dee, that will require a tetanus shot. It's, like, that's really funny. And, like, the part where he tries to make a grill, and he, like, screws it up, like, that's hilarious. That's really, really hilarious. And it's hilarious in a way that's, like, more realistic than Peter Griffin ever would be. But I think it's also silly enough that Peter Griffin is like riffing on that, right? So it's like you relate to Homer in that scenario because like everyone's tried to build like an IKEA thing and like screwed it up somehow, right? Like that happens to literally everybody, so it's like super relatable, right? Or like you don't understand the instructions for the construction of something, right? Like that does happen to everybody. And so like that whole like thing where he tries to construct a grill and fails is like really, 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 really funny for that reason, right? But then you have like a Peter Griffin thing where he's just like, we'll make the Smurfs do it. And then there's like a bit of, and then they have a cutaway to the Smurfs or something for like whatever reason. You know, some crap like that, you know. What would Aquaman do? And then there's like a cutaway to Aquaman like doing something stupid, like being lazy or something, right? And so it's like he's like Homer, but like stupider. It's like a really dumb version of like Homer. Something like that. Right? And like all the nuance of like Homer. Yeah, that's the other problem, is that all the nuance of like Homer's character is like taken away. Like the fact that Homer works in a nuclear power plant, right? Like a nuclear power plant, in most cases, is like a highly educated job. Right? Like you're highly specialized, highly educated. There's not really that many nuclear power plants in the country because they're not actually, my theory is they're not that productive. Like atomic power is like fine, but it's not that productive. It's like more of like an experimental kind of thing than like something that's actually optimal for power generation relative to like oil and gas, I guess, right? But that's sort of the funny thing about it is that he works at a nuclear power plant, but he's just like an average dude, right? And like a lot of like small towns have like a big employer, you know, like there's like a you would live in some small town somewhere here in the Rocky Mountains, for example, and there's like a big gravel plant outside of the town, right? There's some kind of big old gravel plant outside of town, and it employs tons of people, right? So you work as like a gravel technician, right? You're like a gravel crushing technician or something, or you're a gravel sorting technician, right? And that's like a completely reasonable thing that actually somebody without an education may have, or maybe they do have an education, right? Like maybe you have a mining science degree from like a local university, and from like a relatively small local university, and then you have like a job as like a gravel scientist, or like as like a, you know, and then you work in this big old gravel factory, right? And so characters like Mr. Burns and Homer, they're interesting because they kind of run an entire social gamut. They're really fascinating for that reason, right? Because as I explained to you, or as I theorize about like the nature of Homer, in terms of like who he is, right, and like what he represents in terms of like the American people, and there's like an average person, right? You see where I'm going with that, right? You're like, oh, okay, like I see what you're saying. Like, yes. Like, there are relatively few nuclear power plants, but by exchange, you know, there's tons of, you know, gravel plants or various, you know, lumber or farming or you know, there's tons and tons of like industrial processing facilities and other kinds of things like that across the country that exist in small towns, and so Springfield really is kind of this everyman too, but like this Springfield really is sort of this every place all at once kind of thing, which is really fancy. It's really incredible, actually, right? Because he's both this he's like a really hyper educated guy who works in a big city, and then at the same time, Springfield's like a huge city, and then it's also like a small town at the same time, and they kind of switch around that all the time, right? Like Springfield has like a coastline, it has like a wharf, you know, like it's on the West Coast. Like it's in California, there's like a Springfield sign like it's Hollywood. There's like alligators like it's Florida. And there's like bayous like it's Florida, right? And then also it's like a place in Ohio, and then there's like big mountains like it's Utah. So it's really impressive because even as a kid, I would look at Springfield and think, oh, this is like where I live, right? Like this is a mid-sized city where I live, right? And there's like some places where like Springfield represents them because it's suburbia outside of a large city, and there's some places where Springfield represents them because they're actually small towns, right? Like you know, like an actual like smallish town, right? So Springfield's really fascinating because it runs an entire gamut of like places that actually exist. Like my uncles work at electronics manufacturing, a small electronics manufacturing company, and you can kind of see the parallel between the nuclear power plant and that sort of establishment, right? Like in like a I shouldn't say metaphorical, but like in an analogous sense, right? Like you kind of get the idea. Like Homer kind of encapsulates all of Americana in a really brilliant kind of way. But maybe just because I'm a Westerner, that makes more sense to me. Like I think maybe if I lived on the East Coast, it'd be like maybe I wouldn't relate as much. Something like that, right? But because I live in the western half of the United States, it just kind of makes more sense. But yeah, I think Peter Griffin succeeds in some ways where Homer fails, in the sense that Peter Griffin is from a specific place. And so it's like, like that's the problem, is it like, what does Rhode Island have to do with it, with any of it? It's like nothing. Well, other than the accent, right? So the true origins of Peter is like Seth MacFarlane trying to do that really specific accent and succeeding at it, and so it takes place in Rhode Island, right? So like Rhode Island itself doesn't really matter. It's more just like set dressing for a voice that Peter Griffin can, or that Seth MacFarlane can do, right? So if Seth MacFarlane decided to do a Milwaukee accent, oh, we're cheeseheads, don't you know? I think that's like a womanly way of talking, but whatever. Then yeah, Peter Griffin would have been from Wisconsin, right? Like that's something that really could have happened, conceptually. I think Rhode Island was just kind of like whatever. I think it kind of, I don't know. Like I don't see Peter Griffin as relating to real life at all, but that's part of the joke with Peter Griffin, right? So like for example, I had this teacher in high school. And I kind of liked him. He's a funny guy, and he said one day in class, he's like, this was in sociology class. I can't remember the details of it, but there's it wasn't Mr. Gardner. I can't remember what his name was, Mr. something. But he was like, this was like a half credit, whatever kind of situation, and he's like, how does Peter Griffin have such a pretty wife when he's all like big and fat? And he said that, and it's like, my dad already kind of told me that it's a parody of a John Goodman comedy, right? So there's a John Goodman comedy where that's the plot of it. There's the pretty wife, and then there's John Goodman, right? Who's kind of a bigger guy. And he probably shouldn't have said that in a lot of ways. It's probably not like, whatever. No int runs. Int runs happening. Int run is hella happening. No, int runs. No, int's not happening today. Int's definitely happening someday, but not today. My water was off for hours. I'm sorry. I am actually really sorry. My water was off for hours today, and so I'm frazzled. I'm going insane. My water was off for like 3 hours this morning. I was sick with rage. There's like a building like 100 feet from me or more, and the water was off there, and so they turned water off on the entire complex because there was a leak in like a building across the complex. It was off for like 5 hours. It's like, what possible logic could there be for that? It's like, can they not cut off water to that one building? They have to cut off everyone's water all at once. My day has been completely shattered, and so no intelligence today. I'm sorry. Intelligence will be tomorrow, though, for sure. We'll have some intelligence tomorrow. No, there's no intelligence tomorrow, actually. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. I'm confusing all kinds of different things. We still gotta farm this out. No, Delve, no. No, Delve, no. I'm sorry, Unbeatable Sheep. This is just Demon Souls for you. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. We'll go through strength, and then we'll go through dexterity, and then we'll go through intelligence. You don't have to do this. I do have to do this. I probably don't have to do this. The problem is, I have a question for you. If I don't do this, how do I get the Greystone? I don't. There's no Greystone unless I do this. This is the only way to get Greystone, as far as I know. As far as I know, this is literally the only way to get Greystone. I'm so sorry that I have to do this, but it's the only way to get Greystone. You don't need it. I do need it. It's the only way to get Greystone. It's like, be glad because farming Sharpstone, farming Bladestone, or will be so much harder than this. So feel glad because the next run is going to be nightmarish by comparison. These worms like can't do anything to me at all, right? They're just completely impotent. But when I get to the dexterity, the dexterity run, it's going to be insane. I'm going to have to kill like a billion I'm going to have to kill like a billion skeletons. It's going to be really awful and nightmarish. So look forward to that. So if you don't like what you're seeing now, which is totally reasonable, consider the fact that the next character will be 100 times worse. Oh, I'm overburdened. Hooray, overburdened. Hooray. I should just take off my armor? A lot. Well, it depends. I'm not sure. It depends on how many chunks I get. The chunks are the problem. So you need the chunks. Welcome to why people don't like Demon Souls. In case you wanted to know why nobody likes Demon Souls, you figured it out. This is it. This is the problem with Demon Souls. This is the ugly truth that no one wants. This is the inconvenient truth about Demon Souls. This is the extremely inconvenient truth about Demon Souls. Is this part of Demon Souls is yeah. So now you know. Now you know. Now you know. Why no one likes Demon Souls. But we can take off all our clothes. See, this is a woman you'd see at the farmer's market. This is like the woman you'd see at the farmer's market. Like, you go to the farmer's market and you see, like, a woman, and this is the woman you see. We'll take a closer look at her when we go back to the Nexus real fast here. This is legitimately what a woman at, like, the farmer's market looks like. I mean, I like it. It's pretty cool. So this is your typical... This is what, like, a woman at the farmer's market looks like. Like, you go to a pottery class, and this is, like, some woman that you see in public. Like, you're walking down the street, and this is, like, a woman walking her dog. Like, she's got the shoes, she's got the shorts, she's got the freaking sports bra. She's got the purse on. Yeah, look at that. It's freaking shorts. It's like jean shorts. It's like full-blown shorts. Like, this is like a woman you would see in real life in, like, the summer. This is like a woman you'd see in real life. She's literally dressed like an actual woman in real life. It's like the craziest thing. I have no idea why. It's like actually really unbelievably silly. Hold up, we'll just level up real fast. It's like the silliest thing. It's literally like absurdly, comedically silly. Okay, we'll just drop off like everything here. We'll drop off that. Drop off that. These have no weight, so we don't need to drop them off. Drop off this. Drop off that and that. We'll drop off just like all of this. And then we'll put on Ring of... and then we'll put on Ring of Herculean Strength.
Yeah.
See, this is like a chick you'd see at like an... sorry, excuse me. Shouldn't say that. I think women get offended when you say chick like that. I guess. But anyway, this would be like a woman you see at like an archery class. Like this is like some woman in an archery class. Like you're going to the archery range to practice your archery skills, and this is like some person that you see in real life. Like, look at this. Like, I'm like, oh hi, I'm Cheryl. Or Cheryl's kind of an old woman name. Oh hi, I'm Abby. I'm Bree. You can call me Bree. I'm Brianna. You know, and this is like some woman at your archery class. What would Caitlin think of? This is what Caitlin looks like. This is actually what Caitlin looks like. She doesn't have a haircut like this, but this is sort of what Caitlin looks like, actually. This is like actually what Caitlin looks like. This is very Caitlin core. This is like an exceedingly Caitlin core character. This is kind of what Caitlin core looks like. This is Caitlin core. Other than the haircut. Caitlin does not have bangs. I think bangs are a little high maintenance for Caitlin. Caitlyn's kind of a schlub. She's my schlub, but she's kind of a schlub. Not that I'm in a particularly good position to criticize Caitlyn for anything. And I mean that in a good way. She's a schlub in a really good way. She's not like over, like, I don't know. Not to be rude. She's the right woman for me. Whatever she is, she's the right woman for me. That's for darn sure. But yeah, this character does look kind of Caitlyn core. I actually know a woman named Abby who works at the, well, what, oops, never mind. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to talk about my personal life exceptionally. This is like what's like a really popular like girl's name. This is like Hermione. Like you go to the archery class. I guess Hermione would have big old glasses on. Would have big old silly glasses on. This is you know. Yeah, well, Delve should be a popular girl's name. That's what I think. Is that Delve should be a popular girl's name for sure. I think maybe that's the new girl's name for the summer of 2017. You know, all those summer 2017 girl babies are going to be named Delve. My hope is that someday my name is a girl's name. That's like actually my secret hope. That's actually part of my plan. Is for someday everybody my name is suddenly every girl's name. Like, so there's gonna be an entire generation of girls named after me. Delphi. Yeah, there you go. That's cute too. But I think probably not Delve. Probably Delve will not be the name that I go by. But my actual name, my hope is someday that's a girl's name. My hope is someday that there are like thousands upon thousands of women named after me. That's like part of my secret hope. Part of my evil plan. Part of like my evil nefarious plan. I can't believe that didn't kill me. Part of my evil nefarious plan is for a bunch of girls to be named after me. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of their deal. That'll be their deal for sure. They'll love Demon Souls or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they won't. They'll be cheesing with bows. This is like how you're supposed to do it. Like, this isn't cheesing. This is intended. You missed me because of Leechmonger, too. But like I said, rest easy because the next character will be, like, brutally awful. It'll actually be really hard to get these items as the next character. So be glad because this is, like, easy compared to what we're going to have to deal with later. I need chunks. I need like 5 chunks. I guess I can check. Yeah, we can cheese. We can literally cheese the rest of the bosses too with bows and arrows if you want. We could cheese all the bosses with bows and arrows if you want. Unbeatable Sheep. I was planning on. You know what's so crazy? You're sitting there complaining about how I'm cheesing with bows and arrows. Okay. The thing is, I'm cheesing the upgrade materials for the weapon that isn't a bow and an arrow. Do you know what's going on here? I'm looking for the upgrade materials to upgrade a weapon that isn't a bow and an arrow. I don't want to cheese every boss with bows and arrows, but I could. I could cheese all the remaining bosses with bows and arrows. I literally could cheese all the remaining bosses with bows and arrows, but I'm looking for a way off, for an off-ramp. I'm looking for for the upgrade materials for an item so that I don't have to do that. That's actually what I'm farming right now. Is items that isn't the cheese item. Wait, where is it? Where's my... Oh, okay, here it is. See, I want to use this Murden hammer. I want to use this really cool hammer. So I could kill every boss with this bow, but instead I'm farming the upgrade material for the Murden hammer here. You see? See, exactly. I knew.
No interest.
We were having this conversation, but that's the funny thing. That's the part you accidentally overlooked a little bit there. So I could go kill man-eaters with this bow and arrow. I could just finish the game with this bow and arrow like right now. Like, not even upgrade my weapons at all. Yep. I could go kill man-eaters with bow and arrow. I could kill a monk with bow and arrow. I could kill... monk might be kind of hard, actually. So that's actually a reason I don't actually want... Well, I think I'm kind of lying a little bit, because Dragon God would be a little bit tricky. Well, Dragon God really wouldn't be that tricky. But monk would be kind of hard. Monk would be a little tough to do with bow and arrow. So I'm lying a little tiny bit. And then I could do Shrine of Storms with bow and arrow for sure. And well, I couldn't. Shrine of Storms would be kind of tricky. It would be a lot harder. So actually, I'm cheesing a little tiny bit because we're gonna need Murden Hammer for 4-1. And 4-1 is like really important because that's how we farm grass is 4-1. So I'm kind of prepping to do 4-1. I could do 4-1 with this setup. That's definitely an option, but it would be a little bit tougher to do 4-1 with this setup. I mean, maybe we'll see. It actually might not be. I might be wrong. 4-1 actually might be easier with this setup than what I'm planning. But we'll give it a shot and we'll see. Please don't do that, sir. Sir. Yes, I like that. I like people calling me sir in the chat. Oh, sir, I am but a humble streamer, or I am but a humble stream chatter. Please, sir. Please, Mr. Streamer, sir. That's the kind of culture I need to cultivate. But like I said, look forward to Dexterity, where this is a nightmare. This is really easy, but with Dexterity, it's going to be a complete nightmare, and you'll see why soon. You'll see why when we get to Shrine of Storms. This part is this is why strength is like actually this is literally part of why strength is like the best stat in the game, in a lot of ways. This is like legitimately a seriously meaningful component of why strength is the best stat in the game, because we basically coasted through the entire first half of the game with no real issues, and now we just need to farm the best, like the upgrade materials for one of the best weapons in the game, and then we're like basically done. In a lot of ways, we're kind of done with it. And then we just need to fill in the boxes, just paint by the numbers and kill the bosses. Now you figure out how to get Shh. But I have some really cool tech for Dexterity too. So it's not like Dexterity is going to be... Oh, the scissors. Scissors. I've always been a scissors guy. Okay. Did you actually pick rock there, or was that just in response to me picking scissors? Nothing. I don't mean, I've always vibed with scissors, like conceptually, actually. That is not some allusion to something else. That is not an allusion to something else. Now, I've actually have always preferred scissors out of rock paper scissors. I like the mechanics of scissors, you know? Like scissors themselves are like a cool like artifice, you know, they're made of like metal and they're like, you know, wacky and stuff. You know, as a kid I love scissors, you know. You got to be careful with scissors. But as a little kid, but you know, it's I liked them. They're a cool little artifice. I always loved scissors in like class and stuff. You know, when you're like a little kid and you're doing like the dumb arts and crafts stuff. Well, scissors... The funny thing is, a lot of scissors are bad at cutting paper. Like, if you have a really old pair of scissors, they're actually really bad at cutting paper. And I actually have a pair of scissors on my pocket knife that are really bad, too. They're, like, really crappy and terrible. But I'm a real sucker for the artifice of scissors. I'm, like, a really massive sucker for, like, scissors as being, like, something that's, like, designed. You know what I mean? Like, I am a sucker for that. Like being in like second grade and stuff, and like vibing with scissors. Oh shoot! Like conceptually. Yeah, it's like really hilarious. Like I'm like the pair of scissors on my Well, no, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy is that I have a pair of scissors that it's just like bad at cutting everything else. Like, I have a pair of scissors that can cut paper just fine, but they're terrible at cutting other things. And so, like, as a kid, you're like, oh, like, this pair of scissors sucks because it's bad at cutting paper. But, like, as an adult, like, paper is, like, the only thing I don't cut. Like, the only thing I don't cut with my scissors is paper. Now, to be fair to my pocket knife scissors, they're good at cutting, like, plastics, like, thick plastics and stuff, right? So, you know, they're, like, really annoying, like plastic packaging that's everywhere? That's, like, on, like, everything? Well, my scissors are really good at cutting that, right? But like, yeah, it is really hilarious when a pair of scissors is, like, bad at cutting. Like, my pair of scissors is terrible at cutting, like, strings. Like, if there's, like, a string I'm trying to cut on, like, a piece of clothing or something, it just does not cut. It just, like, won't do it. And so that's one of the really funny things. Is like, yes, but you can see how scissors can be, like how incredible scissors are as, like, a piece of artifice. You know what I mean? Like how scissors are like there you can have scissors that are really good for cutting paper. You can have scissors that are really good for cutting cloth. You can have scissors that are really good for cutting plastic. And like the subtle differences in all the features of the scissors like changes the scissors like quality. You know, you can have scissors for like little kids, you can have scissors for adults. You can have scissors that are good for cutting like plants, right? Like, technically, that's what, like, a lot of yard tools are, is, like, a kind of scissor, you know? So, scissors are freaking awesome. So, I've always been a scissors guy, personally. I'm a big scissors fan. Scissors fanboy is what they call me. Shears? Yeah, shears count, too. Yeah, and I guess Unbeatable Sheep would know all about that. Would know all about shears. Or with his wool. Being a sheep and all that. Yes, exactly. See, exactly. See, scissors are like pretty crazy, right? When you really think about it, scissors are pretty wild. There's also Cutman from no inbuild. Oh, inbuilds are happening. I'm sorry, inbuilds are 100% happening. You can't stop progress. You can't stop progress, Unbeatable Sheep. You gotta just ride out the waves of progress. And so because you got to ride out the waves of progress, you can't stop inbuilds, you know? Inbuilds are just part of society. You need to build it. It's going to happen. Not today. But we're going to see that sweet intelligence. You know what's so crazy about this game? Technically, it's on inbuild. Do you know why it's on inbuild? Do you know why it's on inbuild? Because intelligence is attunement in this game. So technically, it's a magic build. Intelligence in this game is attunement. So technically, yeah. So technically, if you're talking about an int build, so technically there is no int build actually, because an int build would be an attunement build, and we're not going to stack it. We're not going to stack attunement. That doesn't make any sense. So technically, you're going to get your wish, Unbeatable Sheep. We're not going to do int at all. We're going to do magic. It's going to be the magic build. See, because look, if we look at the stats here, see, magic is the stat. See, right above faith. Yeah, I can get spell. Well, not right now. I'm not going to get spell copies now. There's only one way to get spell copies, and it's through Sage Frake, basically. It's through vendors. So you can't like find spell copies out in the world. This isn't like Dark Souls where you can like find spell copies. Spell copies can only be located from vendors. So for us to actually find spell copies would be, so I can't even get a copy of a single spell right now, because well no, that's not true. I can get miracles. But I don't have enough magic to get actual spells, to be able to like cast anything. So technically I couldn't cast. I basically can't get no builds that don't strictly use a melee weapon. No, we're gonna use magic builds. Magic builds are happening. Magic builds are the cream of the crop in this game. That's where all the fun is in this game. Do I have my Murden Hammer? I do. Okay. Magic builds are freaking awesome. I don't think they're optimal necessarily, but they're really good. So we'll see. We'll see what I do. What I decide to do. I'm not sure what New Game Plus is going to look like yet. We need to decide over the course of the next like 10 runs or whatever. Or whatever. Yeah, so alright, so it's 1, so strength, dex, magic, faith. Strength, dex, magic, faith. Non-scaling, luck, quality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at least 7 builds, and then New Game Plus probably. So we're gonna. It's gonna be. It can be like another month of this game. Okay. How much do we need left? Okay, we're done. We're actually done.
All done?
Congratulations, we got it. We're finished. We can go home, or we can move on. So congratulations, we're all set to go. Now I just need to put my armor back on, and we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Oh, we're gonna go kill Dragon God. You're gonna like Dragon God, Unbeatable Sheep. You're really gonna like Dragon God, Unbeatable Sheep. Yep, luck is a thing in this game. Yeah, there's only one weapon for it, but it's very much a thing. It's the blue blood sword, I think. That's what it's called, or the blue blood blade, or something like that. Luck is very much a thing in this game. It's weird though, because it's essentially mundane. If that makes sense. It's essentially equivalent to mundane, basically, in that Okay. Once I put my armor back on, we're gonna move to the next place. Yeah, so it's more like mundane. So technically it scales with luck, but it scales with luck in all of your stats, if that makes sense. So it's more like it's more like mundane than it is like luck. It's not the same as like Henri sword or anything like that. It's a little different. Soldier shield, don't need those. We need plate helmet. Coat of plate. Plate gauntlets. Plate leggings. And we'll do ring of flame resistance, ring of gas resistance, poison disease. There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we really need. Okay, so now we go put on my shield, put on my hat, put on my coat, put on my gauntlets, put on my legs. Okay. So I think that's all I need. Oh, I'm slow rolling. Okay, because I have Ring of Herculean on. There we go. Okay. So. Okay. And then we need to kill the Dragon God and get pure stone. And then get pure Greystone. And then we can get to +5. And then it's just we clap the remaining bosses of the game. No problem. Uh-oh. Oh no, I'm mostly at pure white. Okay, yeah. So I should be able to hit pure white after this boss. And we'll get Dragon Bone Crusher. Alright, I think we can get Dragon Bone Crusher right now, actually. So we'll grab that real fast. You're gonna like this boss, Unbeatable Sheep. Don't worry. You'll love this boss, Unbeatable Sheep. This is a boss just for you. This is your boss, Unbeatable Sheep. You're gonna love to see. Yeah, this is your kind of boss, Unbeatable Sheep. Watch him just sucker punch me over and over again because of his weird design. Look at that animation of me pulling out the Dragon Bone Smasher. Well, he won't do that, but he'll be really annoying. This boss is like actually really crazy. Ow. Ouch. I'm stuck inside of his hand. Watch me first time him. Actually. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, see? See, Unbeatable Sheep? I told you. You're gonna love this boss. This boss is just great. This boss is just great. Just dandy. This boss is just fine and dandy. No problems at all with this boss. None whatsoever. This boss is totally fine, completely fine. Just great. Look at him. He looks like an alien. He doesn't even look like a dragon. He looks like an alien. What's even going on with him? This is what I look like in real life, by the way, everybody. If you want to know what I look like in real life, it's like Dragon God. I'm ripped and 700 feet tall. Oh, come on. Yeah, I love Dragon God. I love Dragon God so much. It's my favorite boss in this game, the Dragon God. Oh boy, Dragon God. Everybody, Dragon God. So we gotta get to, once we get through this first section, it's not as bad. But getting through this first section is like really hard. I guess we can go to Skurvur the Wanderer first, before we do this. Maybe I'll do that real fast. I'll just go to Skurvur the Wanderer. Not that it like really matters. Or I guess we could do Dragonbone Smasher, right? Yeah, whatever. Let's go to Skurvur the Wanderer. We'll take care of that real fast. Not that it like really matters. We'll go to Skurvur real fast. This boss could take me 30 minutes to kill because of how hard he is to deal with. Oh, I wanted to lock onto the crystal lizard, Mr. Swag. Mmm, tasty. Tasty one-shots. Ow. I mean, hey, you know what? Yeah, you give and you take. You know? I one-shotted like all of these. Dragon God one-shots me, well I one-shot all the scale miners, so there you go, you know. That's life for you. Okay, we'll talk to What's-His-Face and upgrade this one more time. And this is like the best weapon in the game, basically. It's not technically optimal for boss DPS, but it's very close. Like, technically for boss DPS, a mace would be better. But this is like so much better against normal enemies that it doesn't really matter. For a lot of bosses, we're still going to use Lava Bow anyway, so it's like not really a big deal. Like, we could use this weapon, but it's not essential either. Okay. Okay. Where is the thing? It's clobbering time. That's what I mean when I say where is the thing. Okay, we talked to this guy. We put on the Dragonbone Smasher and we talked to this guy. So this guy wants to see the sword for some reason. They don't explain why, but we're going to indulge him.
Oh, you nearly... My name is Skurvur. I seek treasures of the unknown. I'm impressed you've come this far. Were you guided by a sixth sense or a brash imprudence? Either way, you've more skill than I.
Okay.
Let us put that skill to work.
Okay.
There is a temple beyond here, below the ground.
Okay.
It is a work of art, molded by the ancient burrowers to appease the bones of dragons.
Okay.
As a precaution, a broad sword which can crush bone and slay dragon is stored in the temple.
Okay.
Truth told, it is the laughing stock of many a swordsmith. They say it's as blunt as a bludgeon. A dull blade meant to slay a dragon. Curious, is it not?
Okay.
I would search for it myself, but I'm afraid I'd fare poorly against the demons.
Okay.
If you happen to come upon the sword, please let me have a look at it. This place is magnificent, eh? The bones of dragons exuding awe. A dream come true.
Okay.
Wonderful. The arts of swordsmanship applied in a perfectly useless manner. Oh, do not mind mind me. Thank you, it was a pleasure. Please, take this as a small show of thanks.
And then this is the Titanite
Take care
slab.
of that sword, will you? She's a beauty.
This is basically the Titanite slab for strength weapons, or for yeah. So we need that for the crushing Murden hammer. So, we need pure white tendency. If we didn't have pure white world tendency, we wouldn't have been able to get that. It's like one of the weird things about this game. So for whatever reason we didn't have pure white tendency, we would not have been able to get that weapon. And I think we're going to use it for the boss up ahead, actually. It's really not very good, even if you fully upgrade it. And upgrading it is also a huge pain, because you need pure black world tendency to upgrade it. That's the gimmick. Is to upgrade it, you need pure black world tendency, for some reason. So it's like a huge pain to actually work with as an item. But it might help us against Dragon God. Because smashing through those stone pillars is like really tough. But we can one-shot them with the Dragon Bone Smasher, I think. So we're gonna try that out. Oh, come on. Whatever. I need to... Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's a fine. Mamma mia. We're gonna try blocking the Dragon God. Mamma mia. We're gonna block the Dragon God. Let's get to the purple shield. Mamma mia.
Hello, Amki.
We're taking the flame shield. We're taking the purple shield. Purple flame shield. Mamma mia. I have it a heart of the gold. Don't let him take it away from me. I don't want to offend any Italians, actually. That's not my goal. It's just, I don't know why I could do that accent. That's the thing I don't understand, is why it's a part of our culture that I can do that accent. Like, if you think about it, that accent itself is a cultural phenomenon, right? Like, it's a component of American culture, and the fact that I can do it is a component of American culture. Like, they don't have that accent. They probably don't really have that accent in other cultures, right? Like, I think that's a very uniquely American thing. And it's supposedly based on it's supposedly based on a Venetian accent. Yeah, because of the Mario. That's a Super Mario. He talking like a proper Italiano. No, it's supposedly based on a Venetian accent. From Venice. I don't know why. I don't know why it would be based on a Venetian accent. Because I don't think there was tons and tons of people coming to America from Venice. Like, as far as I know, Venice is not a place that people came to America from. I think people came to America from Sicily. So there's other parts of the world where there's people there, because I think Venice is the north of Italy. It's I think, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's halfway down. I don't know. I think Venice is in the north. Venice, because historically Italy is very poor in the south and very prosperous in the north. So when you think about like medieval history of Italy, Venice is like the last place you think of, or Venice is like the kind of place you think of, because Venice was built as like a fortress, right? So obviously they have a fortress because they're so prosperous, right? You heckin' Dragon God. And he just one-shots me. There you go. Yeah, so I don't know whether or not there were lots of people here in America from Venice. I think Venice is one of the more prosperous cities in Italy, though. So I find it hard to believe that there are tons and tons of people in America from Venice, but you never know. Because supposedly there's the pattern of migration in the United States from Italy is entirely South Italian. So there are parts of the world, like Brazil, where there are people of Italian origin who come from the north of Italy, but the overwhelming majority of Italian Americans are from the south. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm pretty sure it's one of the prosperous cities in the north. And nowadays, of course, we think of it as like a big tourist trap, right? It's like, you know, when the moon hits the sky and a big pizza pie, that's amore, right? Like, that's what we think of when we think of Italy. But I think that it's actually distinct culturally from what we're thinking of. Boy, this boss is just so great. Well, what can you do? Maybe I'll try blocking him. You know, so it was actually funny because I worked at a grocery store many years ago, like a long time ago, and there was this event going on called the Taste of Italy. And the idea being is that like they would have like Italian cheeses and Italian foods and stuff like that. And like Italy's a pretty big country with like significant geographic cultural distinctions between the North and the South and stuff like that, right? But what I was thinking was that they could flood the entire store with water. That's what I was thinking. Let's see if I can block them. Okay, that did not work. I was thinking maybe what they could do is flood the entire store with water. And then what happens is instead of shopping carts, we could have gondolas. And that was my like concept for Taste of Italy. And I kind of wish the corporate offices would have hired me for that purpose. I think that would have been really hilarious. I think that would have been really good. I think they should have hired me for that. But you know, what can you do? You know, corporate's all about nepotism. You know, they don't want new ideas. They want the same old ideas. They don't want someone to come in and tell them to flood the store with a foot of water and have gondolas instead of shopping carts. That's not the kind of idea that they're interested in, you know? Because they don't get it. You know, they don't understand. That's really what you need to differentiate yourself in the grocery business. You know? You don't need a Taste of Italy. What you need is a foot of water in your store and then a bunch of gondolas instead of shopping carts for some reason. And so then, like, mothers are wading ankle deep in water, pushing, you know, their shopping carts with the water. You know, I think a foot of water is enough that that's actually dangerous for somebody, probably. Does it really? That sounds badass as hell, bro. Dude, I want to go there now. That sounds freaking sweet. Freaking sweet, Lois. Ah, oh, come on, stop doing this to me, Dragon God. Ugh. That sounds freaking sweet. That sounds freaking sweet. There's like that in Cruelty Squad, in the video game Cruelty Squad, there's like a casino like that. That sounds freaking sweet. That sounds freaking sweet, Lois. Hell yeah. Dude, I want a casino. I want to go to a casino. You know, honestly, they should do away with casinos, but there needs to be like indoor parks that are like with like canals and crap like that. And like games, and like goofy games and stuff. Or carnival games or whatever. Okay, well okay. Dang, I want to go to that casino now. I wouldn't gamble there, but we could eat the restaurant. We'll go to the restaurant or whatever. We'll eat at the Bellagio. We'll look at the Bellagio thing. Yeah, that sounds really cool. There used to be an indoor park, kind of near where I live, but it closed down like years and years ago. It was like a movie theater and like a weird indoor park with like indoor rides and stuff, really far to the south of me, to the south and the west of where I used to live. And we'd go there every now and again, and it was okay. Can I block him? No, I can't block him for some reason. Why can I not block him? I don't know. Go figure. Go figure. You know, you just can't. You just can't. Can't block him. Can't block this. Can't block this. My TV hits me so hard. The Dragon God hits me so hard, makes me say, "Oh my lord." Oh, okay, we can't unequip our thing either. We don't even need the shield. Well, I think we might use the shield on the second phase for the fire breaths. But I think you're not supposed to do that. See, this boss is a lot easier if you have a wizard character. Because you can give yourself like insane amounts of physical resistance, and then you can... Uh-oh. Give yourself... Maybe we should do this boss later, actually. Why am I doing this boss now? I have the frickin' Dragon Bone Smasher. Why don't I just... I'll just go to 4-1. Yeah, frick this. I'm going to 5-1. Forget this crap. I'm going to 5-1. We're doing this later. We're doing a 4-1. Or not 5-1, 4-1. Okay. Come on. Okay, he can... Like, there's no safe spot to stand against this freaking guy, man. This guy's a real jerk. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the safe spot. Never mind, I think I figured it out. Okay, that could have killed me, but it didn't. Okay. New Moon Grass, there you go. So we're playing, we're reading the Twilight books, I guess. If I can't kill this boss, I'm just going to 4-1. You can come back later. like, I think this boss is always hard for everybody all the time. It's probably a really simple way to do it, but you know how it is. Can't block this. But can't block this. Okay, can I block this at least? So somebody wakes up and he starts fire breathing. Let's see if I can block this. Okay. What up, homeboy? Nope. Okay, so I can't block that either. We can just come back. There's actually kind of no point in being here yet. We don't have to kill this guy yet at all. Like, this is not actually necessary to do right now. We can come back and deal with this later. Which is probably what I'll do. We'll just go to 4-1. Get the soul farm online, and then that way we can have tons of grass for this. It's just not necessary to deal with this right now. We have the +5 Murden Hammer. That's the thing that matters mostly. Or I think we have the +5 Murden Hammer. We may actually not have the +5 Murden Hammer. I think we have the +5 Murden Hammer, but I'm not sure. We might need 4 more chunks of Greystone. So we'll see. But once I clean this world out, I can go to Black World Tendency and grab the Colorless Demon Soul. And we can mess around with Dragon Bone Smasher. It's really not very good, honestly. I hate to be the guy who's like, Dragon Bone Smasher is not very good, but it's kind of not very good. It's not the same as like a Dark Souls strength weapon, where it's like, you know how you hit an enemy for like 90% of their health or whatever? You just like crush them. Oh, we need 4 chunks of Greystone, yeah. We need 4 Greystone chunks. So technically we need to go back to farming to get to +5. So I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. You know I never intend for farming to be the strategy. You know, it's just how it is sometimes, though. Shouldn't have put on all my weapons and armor. But we're going to end stream in 10-ish minutes anyway, so it's fine. And as far as I know, there's no item drop chance. I guess we could grab something like that, right? Isn't there a ring? Isn't there an item drop chance ring? Hold up. Or is it only in the remaster? It might only be in the remaster. We're going to find out real fast here. Okay, Cat Ring, Clever Rat's Ring, Kling Ring, Dull Rat's Ring, Eternal Warrior Ring, Foe's Ring. Or no, it's really hard to get. It's really, really hard to get, actually. Because there is one, but it's really, really hard to get. Oh, no. That's something it. Where is it? Ring of Magical Dullness, no. Ring of Magical Nature, Ring of Magical Sharpness, Ring of Sincere Prayer, Ring of the Accursed, Thief Ring, Ring of Longevity. Oh, okay, it's Providential Ring. Starting gift for a new character. Is there a deluxe edition? Or is deluxe edition only the remaster? Why am I not playing the deluxe edition? Yeah, you need large soul searching. You need large sort of searching, which is old hero. So we can't do that. Demon Souls Deluxe Edition. PS3. Oh, there's a deluxe edition for this game. Why am I not playing the deluxe edition? Holy shit, I needed to play the deluxe edition. I need to download the deluxe edition. Why am I not playing the deluxe edition? I need the deluxe edition right now. I need to go find the deluxe edition online. Let me go download that. Yeah, so I guess the next run is going to be the deluxe edition. So congratulations, everyone. It's not going to change much for us right now. Hold up. I guess we can look that up. I'll look that up later, actually. Right now we need to do some more farming. No, I'll look that up later. I'll go tonight and I'll look up the deluxe edition differences, because I didn't even know there was a deluxe edition. Yeah, so I could literally I could have the gold coveted serpent ring basically right now and use that if I had the deluxe edition, but I didn't know about the deluxe edition. So I think maybe the next character will be deluxe edition. We'll do a deluxe edition from now on. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Well, I'll look and see what the differences are. But yeah, probably next character will be deluxe edition. Shard of Greystone. This is the only way to get Greystone. There's actually not another way to get Greystone, unfortunately. If there was, I would do it. If there was another way to get Greystone, I would do it. But there's not. So, but I'll look up Deluxe Edition tomorrow, or I'll look up Deluxe Edition tonight. And so for the next run, it'll probably be Deluxe Edition. We'll see. Oh. Okay. We need 4 more chunks. Yeah, I would love to go to the Venetian Casino in Las Vegas. You know, it's funny, when I was a teenager, I was like 12 or something, I saw a play with my uncles. There was like Treasure Island, and there was a bunch of like water and stuff on the play deck. I'm like, how the hell did they do that? Like, retrospectively, I'm like blown away. There's these big, huge, like, production... There's, like, the stage had water on it. And I'm like, how the F did they do this? Like, that must have been the craziest thing ever. And this big, fancy playhouse to the south of me. I can't remember what it's called now. But I had a professor, or I had a teacher in high school. Who acted there. She was in one of the productions. Which I'm like, it's just crazy. Like, I think that's like the most prestigious playhouse in the... That's the most prestigious theater in the whole state or something. Like, it's actually insane. That's like literally the most prestigious theater in the whole state.
Yeah.
That was right before things started getting bad for me. That was before things started getting hard. I think in retrospect, you know, I mean, you know, I don't know, you know, hindsight is 20/20. If I go back and do it all over again, I probably would have taken acting class very seriously. And I probably would have, like, done, like, drama or something, theater. But, I mean, you know, yeah, whatever, right? It's like, I could have taken anything seriously in high school. You know, I could have taken chemistry seriously. I could have taken history seriously. History was the natural choice. I was really great in those classes. Those classes I just wrecked in. If I had taken those more seriously, I probably would have been happier. Yeah, if I had just taken those really seriously and gone for like a history degree or something. Gone for like a linguistics degree or something like that. Well, if I had done just anything different. But I mean, then again, probably I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. If I had been that smart as a teenager, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys, farming Greystone. So there you go. You know, it's like... there you go. But it goes to show that it's like, you know, if you make the right kinds of choices, good opportunities will find their way into your hands. There's a chunk of Greystone. Like, it really does go to show that if you make the right kind of choices, you really can find opportunities anywhere. And that's like the crucial idea, you know. So like, yeah, my teenage, you know, I had a rough time as a teenager. But now, as like an adult, I'm sitting here playing Demon Souls, and I couldn't be happier, you know? Like, it's truly profound. And yeah, you know, this game's not perfect, but there's life for you, you know? You know, I'm not going to play this game forever, you know? This game's imperfections are kind of fun when you're a traveler, you know? When you're going from game to game, the imperfections of the game kind of come off as being sort of these fun little things, you know, that you get to enjoy in the moment. Like, yes, this is completely insane. Like farming Greystone like this, completely bizarre. Just totally bizarre. Just like the most deranged thing you could possibly imagine. And yet, at the end of the day, because I'm doing it this one time, it's like fine. You know, it's like, you know, it's like whatever. We're chilling, you know? I tell a story about how I was really smart in high school or whatever. Well, no. So, in high school I was really good at history. That was the thing I would do. So, like, I had history classes, and, like, the professor would be like, or the teacher would be like, hey, so here's a prompt. You have to connect these two events. And everyone else in the class is like, I can't do it. I don't know how you do this. And, like, I did it. And I'm like, that's how I did it. And so I just did it. It's like everyone else in the class is like, they don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand how people don't get history classes. To me, it's very simple. To me, it's like really, really easy. I'm like, this is so simple. But I guess maybe there's some kids that are like the same way with math. They're like, and I didn't get math. I really struggled with math in high school. Nowadays, as an adult, it's a lot easier for me. But when I was in high school, it was a real rough time. And yeah, I don't know. Oop. Okay, we need to see how many chunks I have. Because I got like 2 and 1. Okay, so I think I have 3 right now, and I need 5. And then once I have Murden Hammer, it's going to be a lot easier to clean out Island's Edge. So Island's Edge is like one of the harder areas in the game, unless you have a setup for it. Or a Ritual Path is the really tough one. Island's Edge isn't that bad. Island's Edge is actually pretty reasonable. It's Ritual Path that gets you. So if you don't have a setup for Ritual Path, it's going to be really, really, really tough. But if you do have a setup for Ritual Path, it's actually relatively easy. Ritual Path is the tough one, where it's like you need a very specific setup for Ritual Path. But we have that set up. This character gets that set up, so it's fine. For some of these characters, Ritual Path is going to be a real nightmare. Hold up. Let's see what he had. How many I have? Pure Hardstone. Pure Sharpstone. So yeah, I need 2 more Greystone. I need 2 more chunks of Greystone. And then maybe I'll mess around with like a hard infused mace or something. But again, I don't want to do this twice. This is like so we'll do 1 more cycle of this, and then we'll end stream. And then probably tomorrow we'll take on Island's Edge. Probably tomorrow we'll take on Island's Edge. And then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, we'll take on Island's Edge, we'll unlock the soul farm. We'll farm up a bunch of grasses. We'll come back and kill Dragon God, finally. Just because we can. There's really no reason to put him off anymore. And then we can either go to Old Hero or Man-Eaters. Or we can go to Dirty Colossus. And it really doesn't matter. They're kind of all the same. There's essentially no difference between those three. Like, we just have to do them. But there's also not really a reward for doing them either. I need to look up the Deluxe Edition, too. Because I didn't even know about the Demon Souls Deluxe Edition. I need to, like, get a working copy of that. I might not be able to get it. But it'll be really nice for farming upgrade materials in the future. So I would like it for the later runs. For, like, dexterity and stuff. So that's something I'm probably going to do. Look into that. Okay, yeah, we'll call it here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It's been a real blast. So I love this game. This game's actually really underrated. So I'm really glad to be sitting here playing it for you guys. And I stream tomorrow. I might take a day off. Actually, before I end stream, let me look at that real quick. Let me look at the show times, and so I'll tell you right now whether or not there's going to be a stream tomorrow. I'll tell you right now. And then probably in the near future, we'll do a poll for what games I'm going to play in the future. So I'll probably play like... No, Hamnet. Jay Kelly, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see Rental Family. Shin Gojira, Apartment. The Godfather, Fifth Step. Okay, here it is. Plays December 16th. Okay, so I got a couple weeks until the movie I really want to see comes out. So we'll go look at now. Oh, hold on, let me go one more pass. Yeah, so there's probably going to be a stream. There's a stream tomorrow night. Oh, wait. When's this? Hold on, let's see when this ends. Okay, there's plenty of time for this one. Yeah, so there's a stream tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to go to the movie theater, so probably there's gonna be a stream tomorrow night, and I probably won't go to the movie theater this week even. I'll probably go next week. So there'll be streams all the way until Saturday. Either Friday or Saturday I'll take off. But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody.